The DLS Stars Game 3 watch-along and all of our Stanley Cup playoff coverage is brought to you by Bud Light. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy, enjoy responsibly. And by Happiest Hour, your home base and the best place to catch the NHL playoffs and cheer on the Dallas Stars, just steps away from the AAC, the ultimate spot with 50-plus beers and 40-plus TVs for all the big moments every single game day. Happiest Hour, your favorite spot for the Stanley Cup playoffs. And while we're at it, of course, we're on Victory Plus as well as YouTube. I'd like to welcome in not only our two-time Stanley Cup champion, Craig Ludwig, but another guy who also has his name on the Stanley Cup. Well-deserved. Brent Severyn from Victory Plus, and of course, the Sevy Nooner, our great friend, all the good stuff.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, guys.
We finally have some stability here. Right. We have a voice of reason here.
Okay, well, let's talk about the drama of the day before we get to the puck drop. No Rope Hands. He's not going to play. Went out for warm-up, left early. He won't play tonight. We know he's scratched. What was your take on the whole drama from Darnell Nurse's slash in Game 2? He's being helped off. No suspension, supplementary discipline, no fine. The 2-minute minor versus the major, the walking boot, and then all the stuff that's led up to this very moment.
Crazy that he went down that hard. First of all, Letty, eh? Like,
poke the bear, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't know what you guys talked about.
Thank you,
I'm coming in a little blind, but I had never seen a guy drop that quickly on it. Because how many times, Letty, have you given that one? You and I both, excuse me, have chopped guys like that a lot. But think about this. How many times has Rope Hands had foot issues? And I'm sure you've talked about that, right? In that area. So
I'm just going to let Sevy talk so everybody doesn't hate me.
Oh, they were all over you for that take?
Well, I think they don't think the same thing that you're saying, same thing that I'm saying. And the problem that I had, I'm going to stop and let you keep going, is when somebody like that gets hit, you normally don't jump up in the air. You go down. You know what I mean? Like, you don't come up, you drop.
Yeah, it was weird.
And you know how because we made a living out of doing that, right?
That's a very tender spot.
That's a good spot to get guys.
Yep.
And you usually get away with it if you do it at the right time. But it wasn't like this great big two-hand like you used to see. It was like a boom. Yep. And it was like
it's a good one.
Boom. Yeah,
you and I have done that. I don't know many.
Yeah, it was perfectly placed. Right?
Yes, it was. Yeah. And I'm wondering, because of some of the foot issues he's had, blocking shots and taking them off, tender area, you never know if you hit something in the right spot. You could break something very easily, but it wasn't malicious. It was hard. It was nasty.
It happens in the game.
It happens in the game. But yeah.
So the whole major 5-minute thing and all this. Come on, you people. But don't you think, and you have players that you're coaching and working with, wouldn't you think that they would use some more protective padding if you've had those kind of things in the past?
You would, but how often do you get really hit there? How often?
Well,
on the top, right?
Right.
Rarely.
Rare. It's usually the sides, front, back.
Sometimes you're dragging a foot, you get a shot.
Is that because of the defensemen have changed a little bit in the league and don't do it as often, you think? Or
I don't think, because you get it on the side of the foot. You don't get it in the laces too often.
No, I meant just on the chopping.
Oh, yeah. Well, that doesn't happen anymore, does it?
No, there's just the rare ones out there. Yeah,
that was a blatant one. Yeah. And if it was Connor McDavid, yes, it would have been a different call. Yeah. There's no question in my mind. So I was surprised a little bit, but they said, and when Jackson, the supervisor referee talking on TNT, I think it was.
ESPN. You're talking about Dave Jackson.
Dave Jackson.
He's their rules analyst.
Yeah. The chop was there. The intent was really just to give him a little hack, a little whack. And what happened was something that probably would have never happened, I don't know, to anybody else, is he got hurt off the plate.
Right.
Crazy. And if that's McDavid, yes, there may have been a different call.
It's interesting because Chris Knobloch, in response yesterday, once they were back in Edmonton, to Pete DeBoer saying that exact point, I would love to see the call, he said. So DeBoer said, that
Bud Light.
Talk about perking up the ears. But Knobloch said, I don't see that standard for McDavid. And if anything, he pushed back against what DeBoer was saying.
Sure. Lutz knows it's posturing, man. It's just all posturing.
Exactly.
It's great. It's fun.
And to be fair, which again, the same thing, Rope actually cross-checks Nurse first. And I don't think that hurt Nurse at all. No. It did nothing to him because that wasn't a hard thing. It was just Nurse kind of went forward, which we don't like as defensemen when shots are coming in from the point and somebody behind you gives you that little cross-check because you start to fall forward. And then you're wondering where that puck is going to hit you.
Game 3 is underway. If you're trying to sync us up.
Oh, she got a sync now.
We have 19:30 with just there. So we're inside the first 30 seconds as the puck goes behind the Edmonton net. So we're going to be at 19-20 right there. So if you're trying to sync with us, now you've got that.
So
disregard
the
tell
top
them
left?
not to give it away. Is that what you're trying to do?
Well, that would be nice too. But if you want to make sure that you hear us in as real time to the game as possible, Robertson's on the ice, guys, with Granlund and Rantanen to start this one.
There you go. Give him some confidence. Let him think he's going to be part of this game. I saw Ford just there, and I went, wait, Hintz is playing.
I'm going to turn it up a little bit. John, let me know if this gets too loud. All right. Thank you, Bobby. Bobby's just making sure we don't get feedback loops.
So, Owen, who would you say was on that top line?
It looked like Robo was out there on the left with Granlund in the middle and Rantanen on the right.
Okay.
Which would suggest, Sevy, that they're keeping Johnston with Ben and Dodonov.
Yep.
And then, Beck, Steele, Blackwell's been a very effective line when they've played together.
Yeesh.
Outside of the net. Just off the
So I don't know if you guys talked about it already, Luds, but the biggest thing when I rewatched the game was neutral zone play, both teams compared. Stars, much of this. Just what we saw here, Robertson giving the puck away and then the quick counter over.
Perfect timing, right?
Perfect. Now, thank you very much. Yep. Whereas on the other end, this is what we saw.
And
quick speed through the neutral zone.
With control.
And with control.
I didn't notice. So did they start McDavid? Did McDavid start?
I believe so.
Okay, so he went up.
Well, here I can tell you. Hold on.
Because then they're basically saying, oh, you want Miro out there against me? Okay, well, I'm starting.
They started with Draisaitl, Kapanen, and Podkolzin.
Okay, so they tried to keep McDavid. So they're going to try to keep him
Dallas started with the Johnston, Dodonov.
No, but they had Miro out there. I'm just worried about, are they trying to get away from Miro
against
Draisaitl?
Yeah. So they put Draisaitl out against Miro. I think they're trying to get McDavid away from him a little. That would be my thought.
That's why I wanted to see if they were even concerned with
they started the Johnston, Ben,
I don't
and
think
Dodonov
Connor
line.
cares. Well, Miro does do a good job when he's healthy, right?
He does.
Nobody else holds a gap like Miro does against that guy.
With everybody, right?
Yeah.
It's skating, right? And Miro's been better, right? He's slowly getting up to speed. Doesn't have that breakaway speed again. I don't know if you guys talked about it, but he hasn't been able to break away and move that puck up quick as far as skating it out. He gets it out, but just not jumping away from people.
Yeah, and that's not going to happen until next year, right? I mean, until he's even. There's the guy they just showed that I need to see get going is Mason Marchment. There's a few guys, I guess, but. John's disrupting our flow.
Hey, Sevy, since we're early in this, what were your thoughts about the switch to go back to Petrovic in Game 2 over Lyubushkin getting scratched and having Petro with that comfort level for Bischel?
Yeah, I think probably when they looked at, and it was funny, heard you guys talking in a pregame show talking about analytics. Yes, they look at analytics and they go through with a fine-tooth comb pages of it. I've seen it, and how many pages of analytics they go through to come up. The players don't see it. The coaching staff sees it. Misha Donskov breaks it all down. So they must have looked at that, but obviously you could see that maybe a step behind, and Petrovic has done such a good job, bigger body as well. I know Lyubushkin is a big body, but Petro's even a bigger guy as far as taller and lankier.
Where are you?
I think you said you could interchange them.
That?
What's that?
On the analytics. How do you sit?
It's pretty amazing. When Misha showed me what they do and how they break it down, they have everything, and they're able to. It's still the eye test, Luds. They still spend a lot of time looking at it. But they'll take the analytics. He'll break down 3 games. He looks at 3 games, and then from all that, they come up with 3 or 4 points for the guys in practice and for their game, and that's it. That's all the players see. It is. You can actually look at analytics and not watch the game and understand what happened in the game.
Right. You can tell.
For us, we have the emotion, we have the toughness, we have how scared guys are, how quick they are with the puck.
And tendencies, what team do and what gets them off. And like, well, shoot, somebody's going to use that. See, it's like these are the things that I wish they could stop a little bit better too, is after an initial shot, they get another shot, then another one, you know? that zone time that probably doesn't have to be there at times.
You'd like to see more one and done from a Stars
Well, I
defensive
would like
standpoint.
to, and again, and what for me, what does that is, again, I talk about it. Don't get too spread out. Be in the areas. Have 5 guys a little bit closer to your goaltender so that you take up some of that space. Like that play should never happen. That shot should never happen.
We'll see how they
now,
always
here
come.
we got now you've got 2 guys up at the top on 1. That's what I'm saying is like it's like sometimes there's coverage, but I don't know if they're in the right coverage.
And what I think the Oilers are doing is they're bringing that 3rd guy high and they're trying to stretch out the Stars. And that's where the cycling that you're talking about, Luds, that's where that starts to kick in.
And it creates confusion because the other forward is supposed to come up and cover that 3 across there. And so sometimes that read is a little bit tougher for him.
And Wyatt, a couple times, Wyatt Johnson, we saw his minus whatever 15. He's the one who's getting caught sometimes with the guy.
Minus 50?
He like takes
15?
it religiously.
15,
I thought you said minus 50.
No,
That
15.
was quite
No.
exaggerated. But you're right.
I'm just picking him as an example.
Yep.
Other guys are getting caught too, but I remember a couple goals where he's on his guy and he takes the wrong angle.
Yep. And they turn their back to everything else that's going on.
Right.
One of these shots are not right out of the goal. Oh.
There was a play when they were in that zone just now, Luds, where Granlund actually, there was a puck back to the blue line. Granlund waved off Rantanen, and they did a switch, which is interesting because that's not to their man-on-man D coverage, but it was the right play because Granlund was able to get to the point man quicker, and Rantanen was able to drop in and fill in that gap. But you've said all year, you don't see that very often.
Well, it kind of, at some point, you know who's playing the game?
Players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And sometimes, there's a system. Yeah, we agree with that. But we know how to play the game. And
yeah, it has to be fluid. And the biggest thing that you said there, Owen, is they talk.
Communication.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's verbal and there's also visual.
You did both.
You got to do both. And that's what we talk. Luds, I'm sure you do with the kids. Sometimes their head's down. They don't hear it. They hear a guy talking. They'll throw it in the area. And it doesn't work.
Yep. And you try to get them to know where their outlets are before they get the puck.
All right, we have an offside here. I would imagine that we will have a media timeout. And yes, indeed, no goals so far. But we're not going anywhere.
Oh.
We're still right here.
I thought we got to go somewhere.
I have to make sure to say that so Victory Plus knows that they can
I thought we were
get
on
to
a
their
break,
media
too.
timeout. We're here on YouTube the entire time.
Hey, Bobby, when's our appetizers or our happytizers arriving? Are we getting anything from Happiest Hour today? Look at he's got that look up there like, wait, that's not part of the show.
No. That is no.
Well, we figured it was like a lunchtime show, mid-afternoon. There'd be happytizers.
Everybody's at the pool right
like
now.
the Wheel
having a
of
couple.
Wings and the Nacho Tower, the Grundle Tower. We figured we seeing some of those. Yeah, I mean,
Is that a real thing?
It's a real word.
it's a real word.
And it's part of our Armando read, actually.
Do you know what a Grundle is, Debbie?
A grundle?
Yeah, you ever heard that before?
No.
No, I didn't
have
either.
not.
I had to Google it.
I didn't know if you're allowed to say it.
Ralphie
you
even
guys
had
talk?
to Google it.
And then he did a visual demonstration.
Yeah.
What's a grundle? Are we allowed
Well,
to-
that
we're
would
not
be
allowed to-
your taint.
Well, that's a taint.
Taint.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's
That's
the same. It's a grundle.
Yeah.
Synonym for taint.
It is.
Taint.
Good word, Lud. Or SF.
Nacho.
Thank you.
You
Sam's not here. I thought I'd throw some
You
around.
pick him. Wow.
You could
Where's
also.
Sam? He's in Edmonton?
No.
No,
Where
he's
is Sam?
not there yet.
He's
he's
in
still trying
Denver.
to get there?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's in
He-
Denver.
Apparently,
Made it across the border.
his flight is during our post-game show up to Edmonton from Denver.
We're
So
trying
he
to figure out
didn't make
who
it.
actually is the travel agent in all these mishaps. Because if it's Sam, somebody else needs to do it. I guess they forgot it was an afternoon game, too.
Somebody did, yeah. Was he coming from here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess he took, Pterodactyl Airlines or
Wondered if he just tried to ride my scooter all the way there.
he'd be there by now, though.
Is that your scooter out front?
No.
Okay.
That's one of those rental
the
ones.
green one?
Yeah.
Sevy, those mics adjust if you want them to.
I'll just be hunched over, throw it in my back. Gotta bring it up. How do I bring it up? Okay.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of little twisties. You got to get it.
It's like that. Is that it?
Well, unless you want to, you'd be talking with your grundle.
There we go.
All right, so here we go.
See, that's a perfect example right there of man-on-man. Duchesne tries to stay with him all behind the net, and the defenseman that's in front isn't even looking at Draisaitl come around the back of the net. If he's watching what's going on, he can stop that play.
Even on a man-on-man, you got to have your head on a swivel. That's
and they just take it so literally sometimes.
Yeah, you get focused, right?
Boy, Draisaitl really used the back of the net to shrug Duchesne off on that chance, didn't he?
Whoops. See, I like that coverage there. A little bit better. 5 guys around the puck, and what happens? They come up with it.
Yeah, and that's the support you're talking about, right? Forwards down low, able to spring off and create some support.
One thing we try to teach that's what we do with our guys, like more numbers in all areas of the ice. We want numbers there, especially at that level. You know, you don't have the great puck carriers and guys that can get out of that kind of hole and turn more pucks.
Kayla wants the Sevy saying a grundle question mark as a soundbite drop.
There you go.
I mean, now that the original one has been banned, I don't think we can continue to build that library up.
Oh, look at that. Blip said Sam is taking a hot air balloon. I like that one.
What, did he leave today to get to the... Did he?
No.
Well, this was yesterday and still not there, right? He left yesterday?
Yesterday afternoon, and I think I got stuck overnight in Denver.
I'd like to see somebody bump into him a little bit today.
I was going to ask you, Luds, in the pregame, we just ran out of time, about Stuart Skinner's first 2 games, because it seems to mirror his playoff, which is either he's unbeatable or he's very beatable.
Well, he got rattled. I mean, but you saw what was going on. There was bodies in front, and he was getting bumped into, and he couldn't go from post to post, and he got a little disheveled at times.
On the Duchesne goal in game 1, he was
that was blocked by Rupe.
Stuck for a while over on the far side. Didn't get across.
I don't think he even knew where it was.
Yeah.
Well, is that the one that he was calling? It looked like he wanted to call.
It almost as if you thought it was in on the first shot that hit the outside of the
original.
net.
Yeah. There you go.
Got it. Got it. Nope.
Oh, good chance from Blackwell.
That's probably the Skinner that they're hoping is
early
there all
confidence.
Day long. Yeah. That was almost similar to the one he made on Essa the other night, where he got from post to post and was able to shut it down. What line got that great chance?
I believe that would be the fourth line, Luds.
Well, I don't know if it's the fourth line, but it was that line.
Oh, if he'd not stopped
Blackwell,
that, Steele left that.
If it doesn't touch, you mean?
Yeah. Look at this. Boop, off his skate. So.
But what a recovery on a right shot there.
Yeah, he might have had a one-timer.
Yeah, he had a one-timer.
Yeah. There's Blackwell again. Blackwell and Steele. Taking notes. He's taking notes.
That was a good shot. Good chance. I believe we call those the high dangers, Luds.
Was that high danger?
I believe. Okay. I believe. I think we get that one. The reason why I asked Sevy on the one we did the other day is because a lot of times people give credit for high dangers just because of position on the ice, and they don't look at whether it was a good shot, whether the goalie was square or not. Because sometimes you have a shot at the crease, but if the goalie's on his post and there's nothing, is that really that dangerous? Or is that you're just shoving it into his pads, kind of, you know what I mean? Whereas, like, if a guy has a
so you base it on the severity of the shot.
I think there's circumstances for all of that stuff. but it's always my.
If it's in this little box, it's high danger.
No, it's not just that though. That's what I mean.
That's what we're trying to tell you. It is.
What that you're saying? If a guy,
if you're able to get the puck in, just because whatever you're talking about.
So if he kind of flubs it and you get a little muffin from the
high
house,
danger shot, yeah, because he's in
high danger positioning, but maybe the shot is an absolute toy cannon.
Okay, now I know why Luds is confused too.
I'm telling you, hang around here, you'll be scratching your head all the way home.
Just like Owen, he wondered why my drills at the Nooner were not.
No. I know why.
No.
Oh, I'm very aware of why.
We saw one with the story. He says, Sev, why don't we do this one at the Nooner? And I said, I'm going to show you why. So I took him out and we tried to do it. How long did it last? 30 seconds?
I like to say that tops? I was a bit of an optimist. I thought we could handle
like a warm up drill. You talking?
I'm sorry. We do a warm up drill, right? And it was just a couple touches, couple passes.
Yeah.
Just usual swing around.
There were a couple layers.
Nothing accomplished.
But he looked at it and said, "Yeah, we can do this." And I was like, "No, we can't."
I thought there was a chance. There was no chance. It died Luds very quickly.
That's why I'm comparing it to your high danger chance here. It's still a high danger because it gets to that area.
See, half of our alumni guys, you got to come to one of our alumni skates.
I tried to.
But are they on the
same day?
Yeah, same day, same time. Yeah, ours one. Our guys, half of those guys, their warm up. Well, the warm up is. Diddy's got the sauna ready when you get there, and they grab a Miller Lite out of there, or a Bud Light, or a Corona, whatever their thing is, and then they just hop into the sauna for 10 minutes, and they're ready to go. They're warmed up.
One way to do it.
We got Blake Coleman's going to start skating.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah. So he's skating with our U18s and stuff like that. So we got a few good guys out there. We played the military guys on Friday.
You did? Yeah.
Yeah. It was good.
Right in the afternoon at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I tried to get out
I got one of the former snipers on my stolen vehicle. He's got different angles, different ways to go about it. All right, how are we doing so far, John? Everything okay over there on the control panel?
Media timeout. I forgot about it. Sorry, guys.
I knew there was something there. I didn't know how to say it, but
just yell, there's a media timeout.
Think of this. That's a high danger chance when we go to the media timeout.
Which one? No, stop.
No, just saying. So it's a media timeout. You just got to go to it quickly, just like a high danger chance.
As soon as he gets off the elevator,
I'm helping Luds out.
And he's riding through here on his scooter.
Yeah,
that's a high danger chance. He literally drives in off of the elevator with his helmet on his scooter right over to there.
No, I usually take the helmet off in the elevator.
Yeah, that's it.
Is it?
I was going to say, that looks similar to the last one.
Yeah.
You thought it was live there for a second?
Well, I did too. I was like, man, they're trying to play out of the corner quite a bit.
I thought I heard the elevator. I thought the appetizers were here.
Well, Luds, you did say
I should go over there because we've been promoting this place. Just see how things are going. I'd like to know. Bobby, take a walk over there and get us a couple pictures.
Bobby's going to mute your microphone if you keep chirping him about it, which may actually be what you're going for. I don't know.
Well, no, we're promoting our sponsor. Hey, do we have anybody there that's out there? Can you ask that question, John? Or did I just
our buddy
ask
Charlie Wade, would Bork be a better option on the fourth line than someone else?
I've been maybe not now. I don't know how does how is he taking all this? Like not getting how many games did he play? 1 or 2 so far through the playoffs?
I can tell you. Maverick Bork has played 2 playoff games this year.
Well, it's the size, eh, Luddy? It's the size of him.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I think that he has played some center. Apparently, I think if you found a way to put him in the middle of the ice where he can maybe stay away from the wall stuff, I think he adds a little. I mean, he's got some hands. He shoots the puck well.
Well, that's the problem. All the game is on the wall. It's 85% now on the wall. That's the problem.
But see, they can't score 5-on-5. So
and
maybe,
he's not
try that.
He's not their first choice penalty killer. That's the other thing.
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm talking about 5-on-5. We need some 5-on-5 goals. Maybe he could help in that area.
Stars doing a much better job.
Putting him in now.
Stars doing a much better job in the middle of the ice too, in front of their own zone. See, again, slowing down the neutral zone right there for the Stars.
Yeah, and they don't
Gap's
get anything
better.
interior. Yeah.
I think you got to be impressed, too, by the Oilers and their defensemen with the gap that they had in the first couple games. And watching it,
they've
thought it was much better.
really kind of changed that. Even Bouchard, like I look at him as kind of one-dimensional, right? I think that he's been good. Klinger's been good. I mean, I think he's come along with his hip injuries. He didn't look so good against Tyler on that breakaway, but apparently their doctors are at a different level because.
But again, going through game 2, I noticed that a lot. Just them being in a good, strong position, good gap because they have their forwards coming back. Just real strong plays. Nurse was really noticeable to me how good he was in that specific play with that big stick and how aggressive he is on the Dallas Stars.
Luds, I don't know if you agree or not, but I always thought of Klingberg as a very good, smooth skater, but I didn't think that his point-to-point quick speed burst was necessarily what Tyler was in Tyler's prime.
No,
as far as on a sprint race.
Yeah, no, I think Klinger's more of an east-west kind of guy.
Yeah.
He's got deceptive moves. He's
Agreed.
smooth with the puck. You know,
But it wasn't even with the injuries and the hips. It wasn't surprising to me that Sagan got away from him on that.
Well,
one.
he doesn't think defense first anyway.
Right.
He doesn't. I try to get our guys to be able to sense danger. Like you got to be ready for danger before it happens. And so that particular play, Klingberg just hung in there when Draisaitl had the puck. He just stayed on that blue line. He didn't sense any danger. John, what was what did you say the save? Was it saves under? You went one of the goaltenders under, didn't you today? Was it Jake?
It was under 20.
Less than 25 and a half.
25 and a half?
Thank you, John.
So would you guys say best 5-on-5 play we've seen from the Stars here in the first 13 minutes of the series?
Well, I think it's even, right?
Yeah.
I think it's at least even.
That's what I mean.
And even if they're getting outshot, they're getting into the zone with pucks, and there's a little more battle here.
Well, you guys love my numbers. The chances are pretty close.
Are they?
7-6 right now. Yep.
See, we don't need to keep track of them. So
we
weren't even talking about chances. We're just talking about the game itself.
Yeah, but that's the point is that when you look at these,
they don't have nothing to do with our game.
It does.
Not our game. That we're talking about.
Here we go.
Well, no, I'm just saying
No,
it's not
you
about
guys
chances.
were just saying that the game looked fairly even, and from that
but
side,
it's not from chances. It's just from the way that they're playing.
Sure.
Like in the areas that they're in, both zones, their zone.
But I also equate that to if one team is heavily outnumbering the other team in chances, it means that, well, even if you have an even territorial battle, if you're not doing anything with it, it's like possession without a purpose. Right? You can cycle the zone for a little while and try to wear a team down, but if you don't eventually get some pucks to the net, what are you doing?
You're playing like Carolina.
What do you have for chances? What do you have for chances?
I have 7-6 Edmonton right now.
What do we got here now?
Did it go out?
Oh.
What? Check it out, Lutz. Did it go out off a deflection?
That's
That's
hard
a penalty,
to tell.
yep.
I don't think it did. So
It's a penalty.
Did it hit Wyatt's stick?
I don't think
Did
it
it
did.
go out?
The question is that what was the call on the ice? Did they say nothing? Because I don't know if you can overturn that or not.
That's a no.
That is
I think
a
it
no.
hit. I think it hit Wyatt's stick.
no penalty.
Yeah, it hit Wyatt's stick. I think
Stars
it hits the stick right
can
away.
challenge this.
He's even showing. Wait, watch Wyatt's stick. That stick right there. Whose stick is that?
That's
That's
the
one of
Oiler.
his own players.
Yeah.
That's Draisaitl.
Yeah, well, that. But Draisaitl, who shot
But
that?
it touches the glass.
I believe that was Kulak.
Is that what it stays in the zone, right?
Yeah, I thought it.
No, it hit the netting above the glass.
Oh. But wait, if Sevy shoots it and it's going out, but it hits my stick and still goes out, that's not.
I
That's
don't
not.
That's a
it is.
deflection.
That's a
yeah,
deflection.
That's
So
what
then,
that was.
if that's the maybe that's why they.
Well, yeah,
decided,
I said it hit a stick.
yeah.
I thought it was Wyatt's, but it was whoever.
It hit something. Oh,
That went straight in, didn't it? That's not Bouchard, is it? No. Oh, and he just went and changed it. Is that Bouchard?
That's Bouchard.
He
Yeah.
just went and changed his stick.
change a stick.
Check
Yeah.
the stick. Check the stick. Oh, we can't
Don't
do
think
that
do
anymore.
No, that was Kulak that did that.
What?
Kulak
got the
went
goal?
to
Kulak?
he went to the stick, right? He took his stick over.
Okay.
Yeah.
He does have a bomb. There's your presence. There's your net presence. Just that little hop by McDavid right there, I think, is probably what threw him off a little bit. Yeah, I would say, I don't think, who's on the other side there? Not Hyman. I would think that McDavid had a little bit to do with that. Now, is that a high danger chance?
No. It's a hell of a shot, but it's from that far above the circle.
I think when there's guys in front of a goaltender, it should be a high danger chance. That's just me. I don't know how it's not.
It seems we'll just call that an inner slot shot then, right?
Inner slot shot. Inner slot.
No, that was not.
You behave over there.
Sorry. Uh-oh, 3-on-1 here.
That's a 3-on-1. What's this about?
Oh, boy.
See, now you're sitting on the bench, right, Sevy? And you can just feel it. You can feel everything coming down on you.
It was a key coming in, and obviously get that first goal, quiet the crowd. Because, you know, Edmonton's pretty quiet. If you get that first
pinch.
One.
No. Yeah, right here. That's taking a chance against the wrong guys. Not that one. This one. Right here.
Oh, boy.
You just... I'm just saying, like, when you never give him that opportunity.
Okay, Letty, but we're missing one guy. Where's the other guy on the right-hand
side? The forward was on the wall. There were two forwards on the wall.
Where's your defense partner?
And then Harley stood up. That was Harley. That stood up on McDavid that went by him, and then Lyubushkin was the only one back. Or sorry, not Lyubushkin. He's not in the lineup, is he? No, maybe Lyubushkin should have been back there. It must have been CC because I saw a 4.
It was CC was the one that was back. Yep.
Yeah.
Right. What's the first rule of thumb, though, is you're looking inside to see if your forward's there before you pinch, right?
Well, that's what I mean.
That's Harley what I mean, yeah.
Harley was
took
up,
chance.
And then he came back out. Then he stepped up again.
Oh, boy.
And it's number 97 that's right in front of you. See, I would kind of err on the side of caution, I think. Whoops.
Oh, sniper.
Was that McDavid again? That just did that?
That was Janmark.
Oh.
I don't know. With this big TV, I can't tell who's who, really.
Eddie was coming in today. And then he didn't make it back from the lake. I think he went to PK the last couple of days, and I tried him yesterday afternoon. Oops, are they? Oh, well, somebody's getting upset.
Well, that's not what we wanted to see.
No, that wasn't on the to-do list.
No.
I think it was on the not to do, not do.
We have a media timeout here. The Oilers leading 2-0 here in the first.
You see where that Dustin Paddock said I don't need to wait till intermission to make lunch? Maybe he could drop something off.
Get hungry?
I think I am. I keep talking about it.
It's
when you read the happiest hour.
Think about all those appetizers.
No, they're not appetizers. They're happytizers.
Yeah.
The wheel of wings.
I'm with you. I'm also. So I brought my lunch, heated it up.
You think they're listening to us over there? Probably not. Huh?
No. And
you said that pretty emphatically. No, they're not listening to us.
Well,
I thought we were on Victory Plus.
We are on Victory Plus.
Well, couldn't they have that on?
They could. They could have the YouTube.
They
on.
should have that on.
Maybe they do. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, I heated up my lunch. We had 1 minute to go before going on air, so I've been staring at it ever since for our watch along. So it's not helping. It's just making me want to eat it.
Might have to break down, so.
What's that?
Well, there's 2 pork chops in every can, and I am hungry.
Is that the first adjustment?
That might be I'm trying to adjust from the chair. Trying to, little different juju.
Yep. Excuse me.
He's going to say, don't ask about 5-on-5.
Oh.
Did you get to hear any of his? Was that from this morning, Pete's pregame? that we were listening to?
That part about the even strength, 5-on-5?
Did you hear any of that?
Yeah.
A little testy today.
Yeah, he's testy. He should be.
He's a little more testy right now.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it hit the netting there above the glass. So,
yeah. See, if Owen wouldn't have been talking, we'd hear a clear description of why that wasn't, because it hit his stick. Dave was trying to tell us that, but nobody likes Dave Jackson right now, apparently.
that's true. He gets a lot of heat.
He does sit on the fence a little bit. Like it's gotta
A
be hard.
little?
Well, do you want him to? I mean, I'm talking about both ways. It doesn't mean I don't know how you throw your fellows under the bus.
Well, if you watch the NFL, they do it. The guy who does it on the NFL does it right. He tells it how he thinks it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it may differ from what they say the officials,
I think,
but you have to tell what you think, because I think he should be a little bit more
I
definitive.
completely
for us.
agree, because as the rules analyst for a TV broadcast, if you don't give your opinion, if you're worried about offending the referees, then you're not doing the service to your broadcast.
The other thing is with the whole 5-minute major, like if there's an injury kind of thing, I was saying, like, how do you know that if there's an injury or not? Like, do you want him to go take an X-ray right now in the room and wait for that, and then, like, how?
Well, he said it was the intent.
Just because but the other part is if there's a
It's
injury,
in there,
yeah. But yeah, you're right. The intent thing. Well, we both kind of saw it. Like, I mean, the intent was there. The intent was there to chop him a little bit, but it wasn't to break his foot.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a problem with the Oilers right now. They go back to sitting in front of the net, taking care of the net, not having to chase it all. Makes it even more difficult, as we've seen.
But look at how they stand up, too.
Yep.
In the neutral zone for them long stretch passes. Then the goaltender gets out to get there because there's no pressure. Now they'll have somebody on the wall. I like that forecheck. One before you go in would be nice.
There we go.
That was a nice
Ooh,
play.
good save.
He's got a little giddy up and go there.
Yeah.
Heiskanen does.
Let's
And just the dumps are not working, eh? It's just like every time it's thrown in, they just don't get enough pressure, and Oilers come right out.
Yep.
Good forecheck by Marchment there.
He's always good with that stick, eh? When he's keeping those feet
Well,
moving.
when he doesn't take a guy down, right? Like that's the problem with him being on that line, Sev, is that he's so good at it, but then sometimes he gets overzealous and then takes the penalty.
I think it's when he's not moving his feet, right? He's reaching with that stick.
I agree. It's sort of that hope play. Like, I hope I can still get that.
Yeah. Well, they tell us all the time, when we get penalties like that, you got to move your feet, take that extra step.
Yeah.
Is his contract up at the end of this year? Or
No,
next
he
year?
has one more.
One more?
Yep.
So, lads, I was thinking about this in front of the net. Is there a way that the Stars could some crossing patterns inside,
You're talking about
like
in the offensive zone?
in the offensive zone in front of the net with them in five guys, the Oilers in five guys? Like, if we could throw a guy, if the Stars could start out here with their forwards, throw one in here and swing out a defenseman to kind of break down that dice that they have, that 5 guys.
But you don't lead the 5 guys stay there. They let you stay on the perimeter. You know what I'm saying? And they don't play man on man like Dallas does. The other thing that I think about is once you get in there and the pucks get to the point, because they'll get to the point, start coming off the back wall with the shot.
Yeah. So
the shot goes back and then it comes in from basically from the goal line to the front of the net, because you're having a hard time getting some of those through there. I just think, like, see this. This is the first thing I showed in our pregame show the day we were doing it, is when pucks get down around there, there's just a bunch of blue jerseys in front, you know?
And that's why I was saying draw someone to the middle
like
a little
that
bit
right
more.
there.
Have 2 guys. Look at the openings there.
But they've got to find a way to get somebody into that interior. And again, sometimes it takes away from playing high.
Yeah.
Right?
You got
Because you're always
a
trying to get the third guy
high stick penalty
No
here, guys.
outnumbered rushes. Wait, was I talking over an outnumbered rush? Or
No. It looks like
high
there's
danger?
a penalty.
Oh, for who? Oh, there you go.
No, you can talk over all the high danger chances you want, Lutz.
No, I meant, yeah.
Kapanen? Right there.
Oh, yeah.
Right into Rantanen. That
Yeah, but
felt
I
good.
think he got a stick. He gets a stick and he puts Rantanen's stick up into his
No, I
face.
think that's his stick. Is that what he's complaining about here? Or is he saying he's...
No, but I think it'd be a...
Is he saying
but
it
I
shouldn't
think
be a
it'd be a
penalty?
penalty anyways, but...
Boy, Oilers are saying that that's the case.
I thought he got Rantanen's stick and put his own stick into his... yeah, he was lifting his stick up. Oh, that's right. You're right, Luds. But that's... I don't know. Can you review that?
No.
You can't review that.
2 minutes? No.
But what... But how do you even challenge that?
Can't.
Yeah, you can't challenge this. Yeah, he's saying you can't challenge that. Sorry.
Right, if it's major, then they can look at it. But this is just,
Yeah, but I don't even know how they call it major because he's not.
That's
Well,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
they
Like,
would call it for
hypothetically.
to see if it's a 4 or 2, like a mistaken identity.
it's a missed call, but it's a missed call.
You mean Owen missing it? Yeah,
No.
he did.
Just laughs.
All right, so that's
It's
it.
hard when you're staring at your book with all these scoring chances.
To watch the game.
Oh, there we go. I think we got the wrong guys on the ice.
So I think we looked this up. The Stars are 4th in the NHL in scoring power play goals in the first minute. You know when they come back from
First or last of a period. Or
well,
something like that?
the beginning of a period when they're
Right.
coming out of their dressing room.
Right.
So not a lot, but it's
Which I was saying that just the opposite of that is I had heard stats where it was not very good overall.
Overall,
for
it's not.
whatever reason, it's
Yeah.
not. But Dallas, well, isn't this how it all started the other
correct.
night, right?
Yeah.
They had like
Of a
50
very
seconds.
bad stat. These guys, the Stars are
All
one
right,
of the
that's
best.
it for the first period. Victory Plus. We're still here though.
Oh,
That's a reminder for me.
what's that? Go to the-
That was
Still
actually
on.
for Lutz.
Yeah.
That was a reminder that we are still very much on.
Bobby still upstairs?
So I will mute the intermission report because we're just talking. But did you guys like anything in that last 2 minutes or so where Dallas suddenly got a little bit of zone time, couple chances, and drew a penalty, whether or not it was a correct call or not? They're down 2. They gave up 2 quick goals after a apparent miss puck over the glass, arguably, and you could feel the wheels starting to come off. Is there anything positive to take away from their response in the last minute or two?
Not for me. Not until they come out at the start of the period. And I think that they take advantage of this power play that they have to get some momentum back. That's what I think.
So you want to see a result?
I don't even know if it's got to be of course.
Yeah,
I'd like
you
to
want a
see a
goal.
result.
Yeah.
But I want to see them where they've got a minute, 58 now or whatever it is. They almost
much,
got 2 minutes. I want to see them grab some momentum, get like 3, 4, 5 shots on that. And then if they don't score on that, they start to build. Whoever Pete's got up next is one of those lines, which for me, it would probably be Steele and Blackwell, where they kind of carry that momentum and they build it up if they don't score.
and I don't care about the missed call. That's what I learned from Luds in the group is that it doesn't matter. You just play. You move on.
Yeah, you can't do much.
You can't.
about
You
it, right?
can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing about a Stanley Cup winning team is the focus that comes in after stuff like they don't give. You guys didn't give 2 craps. Anything that went wrong, any bad thing, Hitch would be flying off the handle and going nuts, and the boys would be just like, just relax. We got a long way to go.
That's not exactly how we put it, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. We can't say exactly how it was put. It's the composure of it, you know what I mean? And you have to get through the bad calls. You have to get through the good calls because there's going to be both on either side. You just got to work.
You see this with young players all the time. All of us have, whether it's hockey, soccer, you name it. Sorry, lads. I constantly tell the kids that I coach, I constantly have to say, you be a player, let me deal with talking to officiating. I said, don't try to be the referee and a player, because if you're trying to worry about the referee, then guess what? You're not doing your job on the field, on the ice. But yet, with competitive spirits, you guys both know how many players get bent out of shape because of a feeling that either there was a missed call, the wrong call, they got, injustices all over the place. But how important it is to try to teach young players that they can't worry about officiating, that they have to just play.
Young. Look at Nathan McKinnon. How long did it take him to friggin' settle down? Yeah. And that's what teams want to do. You want to get under Nathan McKinnon's skin because he knows that he's going to get fired up about stuff, right? Yep. I'm sure they had long talks with him. I can imagine Joe Sakic sitting down with him and said, relax a little bit, because he gets fired up and he starts yelling at guys, and that's not good.
When did that change for you in your playing career, where you got more mature as far as dealing with the emotions of the moment?
Well, Jim Benning is a guy I played with in Florida, because my emotions used to be...
previous GM.
What's that?
You're talking about Jim Benning, the former GM?
Yeah, a long time ago, yeah. And he told me, you just got to relax, because my emotions were all over the place. Mm-hmm. And then when you watch how a Stanley Cup winning team does it, when the emotions are just fluctuating like crazy, how these guys are able to steer the room as a group. Your leaders step up, everybody's relaxed. And yeah, some people are going to get fired up, but other people are going to bring them down. The majority of your group has to be on board. Yeah, and it can't be your top guys.
And that comes with going through them. Yep. They say that you got to go through it to get through it. Well, I don't know if that's always true, but yeah,
I think it is true, Lugs.
But you learn some things through all those playoff series, but then you're learning it, like you said. Like I go back to the, the saying on the wall up in Montreal. From these failing hands, you pass the torch. Yeah. Blah blah blah. That whole thing. You learn it from those guys, right? And they're the ones that you as young
does
players.
Everybody know? Say that again, because I don't know if everybody would know what you're talking about.
I don't even know if we could put that up there, but
probably not without a producer in the chair and preparation.
But can you do that anyways, or no? Yeah.
I mean, if you came up with a quote, we could do that.
It's a quote. It's from Flanders Field. How does Luds know that? There's a poem called Flanders Field or something like that. But it translated. It says, "From these failing hands, we pass this torch. Yours to hold it high. Never let the flame burn out." So I swear, I looked at that, and it was in French at the time. So, obviously they tell me what it was, but I never asked what it meant. And because I was a young guy, I didn't want to embarrass myself. I was like a farmer coming in anyways, So I think that I eventually figured it out. But what it really means is it's your job, once you get to a certain age level or whatever, you're supposed to start teaching the younger players. And that's kind of how after it clicked on me, and then you find out what you're doing, like when you had who's the clown, the little forward that we had, just disheveled. And he could always play in the minors.
John Sims?
Yeah, Simmer.
I was going to say, you bad for Beak?
Yeah, no, not Beaker. No, but there, like some of those kind of guys, and you find
disheveled. Did you call him disheveled?
Simmer, he's just.
We did call him. What did we call him? Not Big Pan.
But no, he would come in sometimes to practices after nights, and because you kind of did the same thing, so you kind of had to say, at least take a shower before you get here.
For appearances.
Yeah, well, make it look like you were out. Those kind of things. Like you learn those things, and and on ice things too. It was more about I always thought it was more ultimately was about off the ice, learning what you're supposed to be doing off the ice and when and where and how you prepare and all that kind of stuff. Because once you got to the game, you kind of just always lean back on. I would always lean back on going to school.
Yeah, but go back to your bad teams that you played on. Think about the room and how messed up it was when things got heated.
Like that. That's why some people wonder, how can Buffalo never be good, and how can this team never be good? Well, and you don't I don't want to say it's a room full of losers, because it's not. It's rooms full of losing. Yep. They're not losers, but they never had that opportunity to win, learn how to win, because they don't win. And then just because of Buffalo, then it's like, and because I heard people talking, from reporters and stuff like that, Buffalo at the end of the year, the last 15, 20 games, they were lighting it up and they became dangerous to teams that they were playing that were kind of bubble teams. Well, like, there's that Buffalo team. That's the team it's going to be next year. No, that's just the opposite. You have players that don't know how to play at the right times and, all that kind of stuff.
When there's no pressure, it's easy to win when nobody cares, right?
Nobody, it is easier to play that way, right? And so I think that's like how some of the great players that are so great, because they don't let that stuff affect them. They don't let the big moments affect them. They are the big moments, and so they just go out there like Rantanen, everything that he's done in his career, like it's just like, well, this is my time. Messier, this is my time. Chelly and all those kind of guys, this is our time. So then the rest of us just kind of follow along. Can I read what Sean sent? I think it's pretty interesting. Did you see that?
If I haven't, I saw that
he's talking about
Sean
Shapiro.
Oh.
He's got a text he sent us, and it says,
"Oh wow, look at this."
Stuart Skinner is the youngest of 9 children. His older siblings are named Samantha, Shannon, Sharon, Sandra, Sarah, Sheldon, Scott, and Stephen. Mom and Dad has something to do with the S's.
There we go.
Did you read the follow-up? He said you'll never guess his mom and dad's names.
Well, Sally and Sargent.
So they are all about. No, that was Sam's guess.
Oh,
it's Sam and Sue.
Oh, Sam. Well, that's clue.
I don't know why he said Sargent.
Oh, Sam is somewhere. At least he has the internet.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
Good for Sam.
What is this?
Okay. Super chat. We have a Anthony P with a Lundqvist in year after the cup. Florida goes after Aho after what he did to Reinhart yesterday, and we are just okay with what happened. Refs missed another call, cost us 2 goals. Fix is in. Anybody? Any thoughts on the?
I don't know how to rebut that.
Florida, Carolina.
Well, they're getting crucified for what's going on there, and they're right, because Aho and there's a couple guys that got run over, and Tkachuk last night just went. And again, but that's payback for the Reinhart hit.
Right.
So, but what they did is they waited to probably the proper time of the game and the score. They're going to go up. They did go up 3-0, but he really didn't do anything to draw a penalty. It was more, well, I guess he went to the box, but it was more about, we remember, well, as a matter of fact, did you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Tkachuk is sitting in the box, and I love the camera angles and everywhere. Tkachuk's sitting in the box, and Aho skating by him, and he's just giving them, we remember, we won't forget, so.
And that's the experience I'm talking about, right? Because they've been through it. They've been through everything. They're just going to wait.
Yep.
Let's wait and see what happens. There's going to come a time we're going to win the hockey game. We're going to move on to the finals, but we're going to get you at some point.
And Sevy, those 2 kids, him and Brady, they've got a good one to learn from.
You think? Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And Keith and his dad, like, Jesus.
Couple more questions for you. Kayla sent in, who do y'all think was the best player for each team so far in today's game?
I don't know, Sevy. Who do you have for the Stars? Start there.
Miro, I've noticed quite a bit moving the puck out. I think he's skating. I don't know if I gravitate to always to the defenseman, to what's going there, and I've noticed
that's
he's
always
got
a
the
safe
puck.
pick.
It is, but I'm watching to see that speed, that jump, that to get out, and I think that's starting, and he's breaking up some plays. So to me, that's the guy that's stood out.
Yeah. Okay.
Well.
So I think I'd take Granlund then. I just think I see more of what he does. I can see him handling the puck, carrying the puck possession kind of things. So I don't. Again, we're not naming the ones that we should be naming, like Wyatt and Duchesne, and that's probably Robo. I don't know if I've got an opinion on Robo.
Well,
much.
The 2 guys that have 3, you mentioned Granlund already, a couple other forwards with a couple scoring chances, especially at the end where Robo had a good one. Robertson has a couple, and Colin Blackwell continues to make a notice.
That's why I said that's what I said. I would have those guys come out there. And Steele, I guess. Those 2 guys. Again, to me, they're more of what – it's almost like those are the guys that are leading the way of how you've got to play in front of that goaltender at the other end, because that's
how they have to play every single game.
Correct. Yeah.
82 games a year.
That has to be part of your toolbox.
It's the same. Nothing has changed, because if you don't play.
Kayla had another question. Can someone give Sevy a bowl of chips? Good juju.
Okay.
Really? Hold on, before you go get the chips, one more question.
Sorry.
Daniel, hey, Luds, why did you want to kill Trent Yanni when you were a Habs, hitting him with an insane elbow? My favorite hit was when when I was a kid, in my opinion.
Oh, okay.
We talked about this in the pregame show.
Chelly threw me under the bus last night on TNT.
Oh, what did he say?
Well, he didn't really throw me under the bus. They were actually talking about all the stuff we're talking about right now.
Right.
They were talking more about Carolina, and there has to be some pushback. And then Biz obviously went off on him and just said it's embarrassing and things like that, which I don't disagree with all that because you don't see a lot of pushback from them. And then Chelly, I walked out of the room, I came back in, and I heard Ludwig. I looked up at the TV and I went, "Oh, Chelly, where's this one going?" And he goes, "Yeah, there was a time Ludwig came into the locker room at the end of a period and said something, and because apparently Trent did something. I don't remember exactly.
Was this during playoffs or was this just a regular season?
Yeah, and I caught him with an elbow. I was trying to just hit him, but actually it was poor timing on me. I was trying to hit him, and he kind of stepped back, and I was too far in front. And I just kind of threw that thing there and hit him right there. And I said at Ben, and that would have been in Montreal, so that was in the mid-'80s sometime, 86, 87, whatever. And I got 5 games. Like, that's a lot for back then, right? Then. I mean, for an elbow.
And in 5 playoff games, right?
Yeah, but you know what? That philosophy, I didn't even start hearing that philosophy 2 years ago about, one game is worth 2 in the playoffs. Or
when do you think that started coming into the
That's
conversation?
what I said. We never had that.
Yeah.
I understand it in a way, but wouldn't there be the side of people going, well, if it's 5 games in a regular season, why isn't it 5 games in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Why are we not penaltying a guy for a bad hit because now you're just allowing him to get back into the playoffs?
Right.
Like, would that help? I mean, I don't know.
I guess clearly they value playoff games more.
No, I understand that, but aren't you, as a player, shouldn't you be trying to, keep your junk together during the playoffs?
You would think that if the league is trying to set a standard and, of course, protect players, they would make those statements regardless of if it's the play, or say, hey, it's the playoffs. That's why you have to be more in control versus an opponent.
But I will say that
doesn't mean that's how they do it.
I think that people tune in to watch the playoffs because it's good hockey, but they like this. I mean, doesn't the average fan like this? I mean, I'm not saying go around slashing people and sticking people in the face, but I think they like the physicality, that they like what happens after game 3 and game 4 when things heat up, because they don't get to see a lot of it during the regular season anymore like we used to.
And figuring out a way to keep, it's the sticks, right? Making sure keeping the sticks safe, not getting them in the grill. That's really it. Everything else, just let them have it. Let's go.
So
it's got a little soft, but that's okay.
The balance that I want is I want to see tough physical hockey, like you said, but not at the detriment of skill as well. So how do you balance that?
What do you mean by skill? You can't hit a skilled player?
No, you certainly can't. No, what I'm saying is that I don't want it to be where we don't call anything and we just let guys tackle each other all the time, right? Because I want to see speed and skill in the game, but I like tough physical hockey, and I don't want that. So I want it. I know that's hard to do because you have the balance, but I don't want it to just favor guys that can grab and clutch and obstruct.
I think the rules have stayed the same more in the past few years in the playoffs like they do in regular season, because it used to be in the playoffs, like really I don't want to say they put the whistles away, but it was close to it, right? I think now they are calling more penalties. Like, I think there was a pocket in there where it was like you got away with anything. I think now it is closer to games, not exactly like it, but I think there was a time where, man, they didn't call nothing.
No, it was.
And I think
play your own rules.
As players, we liked them. We liked it that way. But
you go back
the
and
good
watch,
players didn't.
Yeah, you go. Yeah, well, you're talking to 2 guys that had to wrestle our entire career.
I know.
So I'm like, dude, you're talking to the wrong guys.
So he says he scores like 3-4 goals out in your little thing all the time, and he's the Rope Hintz out there.
Rantanen. He's not even listening to you right now.
Who, me?
Yeah, we were just talking about how many goals you scored.
Who?
Oh, he just called you the Rope Hintz of the Nooner.
Of the Nooner.
Of my skate.
You think I'm just rolling around?
I don't know. I've never seen you play. I have no idea. That's what I hear from you.
That I'm the Rope Hintz? Yeah. No, I'm the Zach Hyman.
Oh.
I give the puck to more skilled players.
He had 52 goals last year.
And I go to the net, and it goes off of any body part that's legal, and goes in once in a while, and I'll claim that.
All body parts are legal. You just can't kick it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. All body
So
parts are legal.
no,
You can even go in off their grundle. That counts.
I believe there's no rule that says otherwise in the rule.
No grundle rule.
That's right.
Bing bang.
We have another super chat. It is General Nutsacks in
What?
What? That's what it says. Stars need with a Brendan Smith in year after the cup. Oh, it went away.
It went away. His nutsack just disappeared.
Stars need a Scott Stevens no more playing fair. The amount of Scott Stevens hits that were deemed legal back in the day would be almost all suspension hits now.
Yeah, I suppose. But man, I'll tell you what about impeccable timing? You know, like timing.
You talking about the hit?
Stepping up.
Oh, yeah.
Like the
No,
timing
he laid out guys all the time, and
Yeah.
they were a lot of legal hits
Right.
too.
Yeah.
The illegal ones are the ones you saw. I got a chance to watch him a lot playing in New Jersey or being in New Jersey's organization. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was consistently nasty.
Hey, Sevy, Bailey has a question for you. Says, which guy were you playing with that got their finger, he said lobbed, I think he means lopped, finger lopped off on the bench? Did you have a teammate that lost a finger or part of one during a game?
Shoot. I don't remember.
Did you pull a Luds there?
I did.
I think
Oh,
he,
no, they probably all think it is me.
yeah. Guilty by association, Luds. We were talking about that
Trying
with
to-
Perry the other night.
There's somebody I played with that
Yeah,
lost the tip
yeah.
of a finger.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'd be the same guy that they're talking about.
No, I can't. I cannot remember right now. Not in game anyway.
Ask Google.
Guys ready for the second period?
Let's go.
All right, here we go. So we're obviously a little behind the TV because we're streaming on our screen. So puck is underway with the second.
So we're 7 seconds behind about?
From the actual, no, not this. I mean, if you're watching
We're about
at
8
home,
seconds behind.
What's the top left on our screen here? Can they see that?
that's
one-
a great, yeah.
No, on ours, the one we're looking
I don't
at right
know
here,
what-
top
Oh.
left. Is that's not
No,
coordinated.
John's trying to sync up our clock with. Right. Yeah. Close enough. Remember, the Stars are on a power play to open the period.
Look at Robo's out there on the
There
first
we
power
go.
play.
There we go. No.
Rantanen's good from there, but he ain't no Draisaitl.
Oh,
Remember in the first game, how many goals were scored over that glove hand, and now it looks like he's already got it up there.
Ooh.
oh. I didn't see that on the first one.
I didn't either. Boy, that
Jeez.
was a.
That's a Draisaitl shot right there, though. Skinner moving his glove over more to his ears.
Well, I think he's cheating
Yeah.
more. How many shots do you need from Miro, John? 2.5? Oh,
I got to get some chips.
yeah, that was a good.
Go
That
get
was
some
a good
chips,
bet.
Sevy.
Hey,
We'll
Owen?
be here.
Zach Hyman had 54 goals, 23 assists, 77 points.
Yeah, that's the.
Yeah,
That's your
and
comparison.
He's the Zach Hyman of the Peanut League.
The peanut.
hey, when I'm playing with Ilner, I go to the net and I get goals. I'm good, thank you. Oof.
Well, they created a couple.
Yep.
Got 11 straight at home.
2 Rantanen ones, right?
Which one?
No one
down
screening
there.
Skinner is aggravating.
I'd say point on, John. Maybe you can you put one of them together? We could or no? Oh, we can't use that stuff. Yeah, because you look at the one that went right in his glove, even the one that went off the post. From the angles that we saw, there's nobody in front of him. Once you can see that, at least that power play created some momentum.
which is that's not
Well,
necessarily
that's what you
a bad
want.
thing, right?
That's what you want coming out of the start of a period. And again, it's up to the line that comes out next, and they've already got Rent and that group back out there.
I know it's an obvious one here, Leds, but the next goal feels pretty important, doesn't it?
More important for the team in white jerseys.
Yeah. A little bit of extracurricular here. Again, it's the fourth line.
You see what he said? Again, Sam Steele getting the chance in front of the net. Great pass by Essa. Throw him back out there. Yeah, I heard that too. It didn't seem like that, right?
Since McDavid's goal, it's been
all-stars?
all Dallas. Yes.
Or you could say it's been all Skinner.
Yeah.
Oops.
Uh-oh,
Now
what
we have
happened
no
there?
stick.
What happened there?
Big Bish got turned around a little bit.
Oh boy, who just went down on the
Who
wall
was that?
there?
That might have been Nugent Hopkins.
He was moving too fast for RNH, wasn't it?
I think it might have
Is
been.
that top line out there?
Oh, that was a good chance there from Sagan.
Look at Marchman. Wants a call. Gonna sit here.
So someone asked who I thought the Oilers. Nugent Hopkins. He was the guy that stood out to me in that first period.
Yeah.
Notice besides obviously this guy right here, this 97. They're gonna show him hit the boards. Oh my gosh.
You know what? I don't know. Like,
Thank you.
I don't know if he did anything to.
No,
Like I mean, I think this was where I thought they were showing where Bishop. They're going to complain about tripping. What happened to Oh, that right
No,
there.
he
Marchman
went down
going
as
through
he's
the
making the pass, and Sagan batted that thing out of the air.
Oh, Marchman's complaining when he went through the middle of the ice and got taken down.
definitely more pressure, right? Oh, where are we going, Lutz?
Well, they picked up from the power play, Sebby. That's
Yep.
what we're. Well, you got some chips now. I'm getting hungry.
See? What you got for chances there? You said,
I'm not caught up right now, but
Gotcha.
I was through just past the power play 5-0.
So you're catching up on it. Is that what you're
Well,
doing?
I had to because we got watching a couple plays. So then when I'm trying to go back and I wanted to look at that Heiskanen shot from above the circle. And then we looked at the Rantanen chances. So every now and then I'm live. Sometimes I'm a little behind. Usually a good media timeout helps me catch up, right? Because what I'll do is I'll watch, but then every now and then I'll see something. Uh-oh. Nice play by Cece. I'll see something in the play-by-play here, Seven, and go, oh, I didn't notice that, or I didn't think that was on goal, and you can just double-check it. See if I have everything.
That's why I couldn't keep that stat. There's too much else going on. I can watch.
There is a lot going on, for sure.
Now, see that long play right there? They went from the right side all the way across. They do that all the time.
Stretching out the ice.
Yeah, that width attack. They send the center guy through.
Great job by Cece there.
Well,
Nothing yet, Luds.
Stars still shutting it down a little bit in their own zone. Not allowing much.
So, you know what this is giving me vague memories of is Game 6 last year. Stars lose and the series ends where they were just all over Edmonton but couldn't get anything past Skinner.
Was 18-13 shots right now? Am I seeing that?
18-13 Dallas. It was 11-9 Edmonton after the first in shots.
What line's on the ice right there? Oh, is that 18 and
Boy, that
10?
line's been playing.
It's Groundhog Day, though. Every time they try to get to the middle, they just can't. Edmonton doing such a good job again with their. They don't deviate from that at all, eh? They haven't been able to be pulled away from the middle of the ice.
Look who what is.
Oh, Sam is in the chat. Over under Sevy eats 5 bags of chips. Oh, he's just asking to be chirped on the show now. How about that, Sev? You got a stray from Sam.
Just, hey, Sam, what are you eating at the airport right now?
Unprovoked.
Enjoy your stay.
Ask him why he's not working right now.
why don't you go do something?
He just asked for trouble.
We need to get Sam with them people that travel with the little kids, you know? Like an escort. Get him to the plane
On the little golf cart?
plane.
Oh my
boy.
gosh.
Look at Bouchard up there. Playing center. I look like a deer in headlights right there. Marchman.
All right, we are at immediate timeout here. First one of period number 2.
Luds, I'm a little late here, but I do have at least a couple shots from the goals from the first period. This was the look from Bouchard's angle.
Can you make our screen a little bit bigger there? Yeah. There you see a lane, but you see it from this direction. You don't see it from the goaltender's view. That's what bodies do. And not only does it just bring the 2 Edmonton Oilers there, it's obviously going to bring a couple more sets of legs in there, being a couple Dallas Stars. Now, Bouchard, I would say, what does Bouchard see here, Sevy? Do you think he's actually sees this hole? Because I give him credit because he is one of them offensive guys, whether he sees this lane or is he just trying to get it to that side of the net probably.
I think he's just trying to get under the stick, don't you?
Yeah. And
you see, I think as defenseman, you see the lane that's open, but you're really trying to get it, as you've said before, underneath that first stick. That's the key.
And as defensemen, there's so many guys that are worried about the first guy, then the second and third guy. Your job is just to get it past the first guy. And you can't worry about everybody else. And so I think too many of them, and again, in today's game especially, because you're not able to hold up anymore like you used to, you only have a second or so to get that puck away. Yep. And so you just got to worry about getting it past the first one.
And Les, what do you think on McDavid's goal? How do you think CC played this?
Well, I mean, look at this. I mean, talk about leaving a guy on an island, right? So the pass, I mean, obviously puts it right on the tape, on the McDavid's tape, and then it's the release. Jake has got, I mean, Jake is kind of just, well, again, he's on man on an island right here. So, and then ultimately when it comes across, and it is Connor McDavid. So the big thing is that we won't be able to see is this isn't a player that probably just shoots it to shoot it. McDavid has the ability to already know where he kind of wants to go. And you're thinking he's got to come across from one side to the other. Do you have the final goal at all, John? Or just,
well, and also on that, let's just hold there for a sec. Back it up one more time. both guys, you got a left-hand shot on that right side and you got a right-hand shot on left side. So you have 2 one-timer shots. And as a defenseman now, you're trying to, where you can't, you have it's a no-win situation where you force that puck because both are opening up for a one-timer.
Now, I will say that if it's me,
you're going to cheat to the higher side.
Yeah, I would try to take the lesser of two evils and probably try to take McDavid away. But again, you're kind of in a no man's land there either way.
Good luck, right?
Yeah.
So, Sev, to answer your question, first 5 minutes, it was 10-2 Stars.
It looks like it too, right?
Feels that way, right?
Yep. Sevy, are there any of your analytical things that you look at or stats you look up of players taking hits in a game?
They have one, but I don't look at it.
I was just curious if Darnell Nurse has been hit today. Because I don't see any of that. And not that means much. I'm just saying.
Oh, Bobby's upset. Boy, the puck is getting, I think the whistle blew here, guys, but the puck's in the net.
Yeah, but Jamie kicks it in.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the stick right there?
Oh, right there.
Harley knocks it in.
Yeah,
So,
Jamie kicks it loose.
does he kick it out of his glove?
No, that's probably what they're saying.
What do you think?
But he kicks
Take
it
a look right there.
Right there.
Is that goalie interference?
Yeah. Jamie comes in and pushes him, right?
And you do have a referee right on top of the net, so. That challengeable?
What?
Can you challenge that? I don't even know what they're challenging.
So. Yeah, I don't.
I think they're saying the whistle probably blew, right?
It's a dead play. The refs are all Canadians, obviously. Quick whistle.
Actually saw that somebody tweeted that at me at the end of the first period. How many more Canadian referees there are than American ones in the NHL?
The old conspiracy theory, eh? I want these people to go to Europe. You want to see bad refereeing? Go try to play Europe. Oh, look at that. Come on.
Wait, did that hit his pad? Or did that get blocked, do you think? The Lindell shot there?
I was watching the game yesterday when NHL Channel was a European. What's that tournament going on?
We're watching World Championships.
Like, there was a call. It must have been 11 minutes. All the players came out and started skating around because they were getting stiff on the bench.
You're talking about a review?
A goal challenge?
Yeah, and that was the first goal. It was by Niederreiter. Yeah.
See, this is the thing that plays into Edmonton's favor, is that even if they're getting filled in their zone, they can counterattack with those.
Yeah, but you have to be careful that when you're getting those chances, you're only down by a couple goals, but you got to be careful. It's not like there's 3 minutes to go in the game.
Right.
You got the full court press on because
of that,
that
counterattack.
because of that,
yeah.
And especially knowing who you're playing against. I mean, you got McDavid, Draisaitl, those kind of guys out there. McDavid's flying.
Sure seems like we're getting the good Stuart Skinner today, doesn't it?
Well, sometimes that's when you accidentally on purpose fall on top of somebody. When you're getting pushed in. I remember Eddie would yell that out. Fall on top of him. Whatever Ed had to tell you to make sure he got a W.
Oh boy, that's gonna
Now
be
that
called,
might be a penalty.
That looks like one.
That's staring at the puck. And sometimes that's what happens with Leo. Sometimes he gets his feet stopped. And for a big man, it's hard to adjust. I was wondering if he was trying to block a pass there. Yeah, he's staring at the puck. Goes down, stares at the puck.
We're going to have immediate timeout here with a penalty to Liam Bischel and a Edmonton first power play of the game on the way. Since everyone else is eating, I'm going to take a bite.
See?
At least your food, they probably can't hear eating like our
but
chips
it's going to take longer.
Could be the key moment in the game. Halfway through, had a good period. Cut the lead in half.
Luz, Andrew's wondering if you ever tried those chips that he brought you.
Yeah, and they taste nothing like Jack in the Box tacos.
Were they supposed to?
Yeah, that's what he said. He gave me a bag after Andrew had him sitting on my bench yesterday after the skate, and he goes, "These are the ones that taste just like the Taco Bell tacos." Or not Taco Bell, Jack in the Box. And I was all excited. They don't. And they were kind of spicy. Which he'll say they're not spicy, but they were.
So you're not going for a second bag of those?
I never bought them.
No,
I
but I mean-
don't even know where they are. Yeah, no.
But you're not asking for more?
I don't know how any chip can taste like tacos. I'm still waiting for the ones that are supposed to taste like some beers.
So I found hits suffered. That's hits suffered. So taking hits. Who
Yeah.
do you think leads the Stars in taking hits in a season, this season?
Oh, taking hits.
Taking hits suffered. Hits suffered. That's what I'm assuming that this stat is.
It's got to be somebody that has the puck a lot.
Well, that or could be a defenseman that's back.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, back in
is
his
it
own
Harley?
zone. Yeah, I would say. Well, because Tom. Yeah.
I would have said Miro, but Miro missed some time.
No,
so
Yeah,
yeah.
and Thomas is playing 27
touch
minutes
Miro.
a night, and
Is it Harley?
yeah.
Essa Lindell, 180, as you would
Oh.
imagine, penalty kill. And then Thomas Harley is second.
Is that just from this year?
Yeah, this is
Do you
2024
have
regular. That's what I'm going
playoffs?
to look. That's what I'm looking now.
All right, we got a few bites in anyway. So
Yeah,
the
Thomas
shots,
Harley. Go ahead.
shots so far this period, shots on goal, 12-2, Dallas.
Thomas Harley's taken the most hits in. Is that this game?
In this
In this series?
in playoffs this season.
Okay. How many?
68
68?
hits. He's taken. Yep.
Wow, look at Blackwell. Waterbug.
I mean, the diving, or did he fall?
No. I'm not saying it was a penalty. I think he was just making the effort. He just.
No, I meant did he dive to? For the,
I think he
get a
dove for
scoring
it. Yeah,
chance?
no. I think he was trying to desperation do what he can, right?
Just stay there. Let him keep moving around the outside.
Tell you what,
Oh,
Stars,
he-
heck of a period here.
You see that?
Yep.
McDavid with his hand up. Never got to touch the puck. Had his hand up in the air. It's like, you remember
Oh,
me?
he's complaining to the other guys?
Yep.
Oh,
That I
geez.
want the ball.
On that last turnover that went out of the zone, he's skating back with his hand up in the air.
Penalty on Steele.
Oh, my gosh.
The bad news is McDavid is fresh because he hasn't touched the puck yet.
The old can opener.
Yep.
Yep, sticking the legs.
So if this is on the left side, you're going to watch McDavid starts on the inside, hash mark, goes to the defense, and he wings around the net to the other side. That's how he gets the puck every time. So we're going to see if they're setting up on that side.
I think we're going to see Draisaitl setting up at the goal line.
By the way, fans in the chat
one-timer.
are not happy with the things going the Oilers' way right now.
Well, whose fault is that?
Even Razor called it soft, says some name.
That tripping penalty?
That's what he says on the
Razor
thing.
is a bit of a homer.
Ryan Nugent Hopkins down the tunnel, according to somebody.
Oh, nice job getting that out. Get out. There we go. That's going to kill the 5-on-3
that
at least.
gets you over that big one. He's not happy.
Yep. That's what we like to see.
Was that to Draisaitl? That pass just now that he let go?
Didn't see.
Here's that Blackwell chance. Oh, yeah, he definitely slipped. And then look at that. Just love trying making the effort, right? Ooh, that's a tough one.
David ain't passing to anybody anymore. Like, that's enough. Ooh,
Good save by
Kane.
Jake.
See, he gets that puck right away to the middle. I've been watching more of how these top-notch scorers always to the middle and then to the outside. Remember how we used to just drive and drive?
Yeah.
Middle first and then take it to the outside. Or
You're talking about on the zone entry there?
On the zone, anytime in the neutral zone. They'll go to the middle first a lot of times instead of just driving the wall because they want to draw the defense together and then take it wide.
To create some space.
Create some space.
We'll get them out of their coverage.
Yep.
Tell you what, heck of a period by the Stars so far, in all areas. Except one, putting the biscuit in the basket.
But that can wear on a team. You're playing well, you're going, but does that build frustration?
Not scoring, though?
Yes.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
Right now, I mean, all the eye test analytics, all of it says Stars are dominating, but when they don't have anything to show for it on the scoreboard, that's a big deal.
But you do take the positive out of it, Luds? You do take the positive and you just move.
Well, and you got to be positive in the room.
Yeah.
You pick up where, and unfortunately, like you guys were talking about, the other team gets a breather for 15 minutes, you know?
That's why last 6 here would be nice for the Stars to at least get one.
Yeah, that should be their goal, is cut the lead in half before you go in.
Yeah, how long has it been since they scored on this cat?
On the what?
On Skinner, how long has it been?
Well, it was game one.
What's that? Yeah, that's what I mean. We're talking substantial minutes here.
I know that was from a distance, but when it's 98, that's still pretty gnarly, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still not a high danger chance, though.
It isn't, but 98 from the blue line, that's pretty. Even that does, like, you expect your goalie to make that save, but it's got some heat behind it.
I think, and even in warm-up, they do the half circle drill. Mm-hmm. Pretty hard for scoring an NHL goaltender.
Oh, yeah.
From there, even teeing it up at 98, right?
That's the point, right? If it's a clear lane and the goalie's feet are set from that distance, it should be automatic, right? Yep. And if it doesn't, if it goes in with that kind of lane and vision, you go, what are you doing? Or maybe you shouldn't be playing.
Soft goal,
Yeah, exactly. I'm surprised, though, Sev, with guys that have a shot like that, right? That kind of heat, why they don't challenge shot blockers to do it more than once. You want to step in front of my 98-mile-an-hour slap shot? Okay, That stung, didn't it? Do it again. Why not try to
and the guys
test their resolve?
Right. And the guys that play that position and are consistent on the PK, they'll do it.
Right.
Constantly.
But they will also pay the price for it.
Oh, my God.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. But that's.
So a lot of times we don't see that anymore because guys get in lanes. But if you have that kind of a cannon.
Good job.
Well, who was a guy in your era that you didn't want to get in front of, but
oh yeah,
had to. Oh,
we got one. Is that Bish?
That's what I'm talking about. That's what we needed, Luds, right there.
Yeah, and you got to credit Robo for that. Like he fought off to get a shot, and then he stayed there. Wonder if you got a stick on it.
Do you find that ESPN doesn't go back far enough on their highlights?
I don't think they show enough scoring chances, period.
Bounced around off of somebody.
Because I want to see how this started.
Who does this hit? No, it
Right
doesn't.
5-hole,
It
yeah.
goes right through his legs.
Hey, that's one thing Robo's done in this series is get to the net.
There. Yeah.
Like standing there, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and again, he brings another body in there. If he's not there, if he's not in front, he's mad because he didn't get it. See that?
I'll let you handle that
to that
one,
point, something I think Victory Plus does really well, and still the Stars TV broadcast they've always on stoppages shown scoring chances, gone back and showed key plays around the net, giving you multiple angles, the slow motion, super slow-mo. And there are times where we get on these, especially the ESPN, where I feel like they show crowd shots, the bench a lot, and I want to see those chances again. That's the way I've watched it.
I want to see what happened. Because how did that goal happen? I don't know how it happened. I know there was a shot, beautiful shot, but I don't see how it transpired.
So I believe that said, what did you just say, 178 minutes
somewhere
without a goal?
There, yeah.
Boy, and Johnson.
Oh, now it's coming.
I heard Bobby might be ahead of us. He's over there groaning.
No,
up
I
there.
think it was that chance right there that he was.
Maybe he's behind us.
He's behind us.
So we have a media timeout here with a 2-1 Edmonton lead. Go ahead.
I would be a little different than Connor saying we can play defense. No, your goalie is keeping you.
Yes.
Do you guys want to see that again? I don't know if you can see it from over there, but here's the ones that ESPN showed the replays of. Did it go right around the leg there of the forecheck? Right here.
Goes 5-hole.
I don't think Robo got a touch on it because Robo's
he didn't touch it.
He's still trying to get the puck here.
I think Skinner's mad that it went in.
Yes,
I would think so. Right to our point earlier,
I thought it went to the right of Skinner.
In the postseason, Leon Draisaitl, most hit player by the Edmonton Oilers. Body contact, right?
Most hit or hits?
Most hits.
Oh, yeah.
Received.
Oh, received, yeah.
Received.
So they're probably going, well, he hits all of us, so we might as well hit him a little bit. But again,
McDavid second.
Yeah. So
have the puck the most, right? Those two.
Yeah. You guys want to see the buildup of it again?
Yes.
So here's the right before. Bischel gets the shot away from the point. Robo goes for the rebound there. Luds, you were just saying you liked how he fought through Nurse to get that puck. And then play goes around here.
Yeah,
is that Rantanen?
Yeah,
no, sorry.
Who got the puck recovery there?
So here it is again. Puck goes over the net. It was Rantanen and Duchesne behind the net.
Oh yeah.
Who gave the puck away?
So here's the shot again.
Who gives it away to Rantanen?
Goes over the net, and it looks like Duchesne Kulak is here. Right and then so Kulak gets a stick on the puck, and then Rantanen just blocks it right there.
So it's Kulak that gives it away.
Yep. And then he just what a pass by Rantanen to find him there.
Oh, and you ever see the size of Lud's text?
Oh, you're talking about the font.
His
yes.
font.
Right here. I can see it.
So it's on.
So, Sev, I'm thrilled that went in, and there's a lot of traffic.
5-on-4 here. There you go. 1 forward.
That's a tough one to say. Is Bischel, is that a high danger? Because
it's not, because for Luds and I, it's outside of that area.
And to my point, I agree with you, because that's a goal that if you look at it from the goalie's perspective, you think is one he wants back.
Yes, he's got to have
and
it.
if the goalies, if you say he's going to want that back,
he wants them,
that's probably not a high danger chance, right?
Every goalie wants every goal back.
That's fair too. But that's sort of how I look at it when I'm tracking him. Is that one I would blame the goalie on? And if so, is it then not a high danger because of that? And Luds and I will do this on our show a lot, is we try to see if we can tell what the goalie sees or what he can't see.
Sure.
Because if he's going like this and has no idea, then can you really blame him if his eyes have been taken away?
Which is a problem for me when goalies go like this, because they're really telling somebody, I can't see anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not a fan of that body language,
No,
are you?
no, because they're basically saying I can't see it.
Yeah.
Like if it goes in, don't blame me.
Clear it for me. Yeah, just clear it for me. That's why Oiler fans were all over Skinner in game number 1 when you couldn't even see the puck on a couple of them.
Yeah.
And they were just giving it to him. Like that goal, if the Stars go on to win, will be dissected by the Oiler fans for sure. The one that he could have had.
Skinner was still all rattled about getting 9 of his sibling tickets for the game, probably. What did that cost? I don't like that forecheck.
Oh,
that's a quick glove right there. Yeah, and then you see the replay. He puts it in his glove. I mean, I know it, but
positioning.
The glove is here, kind of thing.
He changes the angle of it nicely. That move a little cross. They do a little toe drag and then release.
Pretty nice glove save.
Yep.
Yeah.
He got it out there.
He doesn't do anything of this. He just holds his glove right there.
Right, because where do you tell your kids to shoot, right?
Yeah.
Just a little bit off the pad above. He wouldn't be able to get it there. Stars are just planting one guy in front. They're just getting a guy in front and then causing this chaos.
It's keeping Skinner deep in his net.
Yep.
Oh, Jake, what was that?
Whoa.
Good thing that doesn't go in the net. What was I mean, I wonder if he whiffed on it.
If that goes in, that would have been a backbreaker.
Oh, boy. Go, kiddo.
Of course, Marchment plays a little after the whistle.
Why not?
No surprise there.
Yeah, I think he loses the knob of his stick when he tries to move it.
Oh, geez, he wasn't sure whether he could play it or not.
Yeah, I think he lost when he takes his hand and flips it around on his glove or on the stick. I think he just lost the grip of it a little bit. Turco would have sent the pass up to the far blue line on that one. Edmonton's going to feel pretty good if it stays like this going into the intermission. That it's only, and they still have the lead, which will be the conversation. Did I talk too soon?
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Oh, dirty, rotten
That's on me, folks. He's been pissed ever since that power play that he never got the puck. He's been bitter, and he just took it out on everybody. Did that hit somebody in front? Does this hit CC?
Oh, Rantanen got on the wrong side of the puck.
No,
he
it doesn't
roofed
hit
that
anyone. Look at that's a dude that's just...
So that's Rantanen's guy, right? So he gets on the... He's cheating a little bit, and then that happens.
Yeah, that's puck watching.
Yeah. So see, Owen, they don't show the play. All I saw
build
was...
up. You just
Now
see
you don't see nothing.
all I saw... I know McDavid shot it. I understand.
You just want 2 or 3 more seconds, or even 5, to see that develop.
They do it after a commercial break all the time. I don't think they got time to turn it around, or they got guys to turn around or something.
Well,
they do.
That's an age-old argument of the NHL. You know, give them an extra few seconds before the next face-off to show those highlights.
Yeah, I just think it's the philosophy of ESPN of how they want to show the goal.
That is now is where you need your leadership, because that's a
killer.
After a period like that, and then you give that up.
How many seconds were left in the period?
18.8 seconds.
Was it really? Son of a gun.
That was a statement to all the other guys on the Oilers power play. Like, I want the puck. Give me the puck.
Open.
If you don't want to give me the puck, I'll just do it myself.
All right, that's the end of the second period as the Oilers have a 3-1 lead over the Stars.
Luds, here's what I conjured up for the Bischel goal. Behind the net, Rantanen, and then here's the best sort of look from behind Bischel.
What in the fuck is going on over here?
He's not listening.
Not paying attention to you.
No, I got 9 different frames up here now. And then look at my computer just blinking.
That's funny. You're having trouble with technology. You're having trouble with technology again. Yeah, look at the dogs have been. The dog has been chewing on it. You got shrapnel everywhere. Clean that. No, really? That fall off your motorcycle or something?
The X is on with Scotch tape. I thought we got these as a company thing when we got here. Well, now it's moving around.
Oh, Rantanen getting on the wrong side.
All right, I'll hit mute on this so you guys can chat it away. I was just watching the McDavid goal again, and when he goes for that wraparound, boy, Essa's so good at getting to the back post and putting that stick blade down.
Was stick there, or was that?
Oh, he
Jake's
just
pad?
swept it away. It never got to the pad. So he literally denied the wraparound there.
And Jake was not there yet?
That's a great
Or could
question.
he?
What do you mean? And then he scored?
Yeah, the previous wraparound from the
As
start
he
of the
so
play.
here as McDavid comes in, as CC gets beat, and he goes. I mean, the awareness for Essa to get to that far post and just makes it look so easy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like nonchalant.
Everything. Oh, there you go.
Luds, is your mic plugged in?
It is currently not. Nope.
It's not plugged in?
No, if you could look at it, see, it's just a little, just got to push it so it goes click. There you go. Now it's plugged in.
I was swearing at
Second show in a row
swearing
that
at my
Luds'
computer.
mic
It was a
has
good
been
thing it
unplugged.
wasn't plugged in. I was having technical difficulties over here.
T from the 103 question here. Hold on.
Somehow I'm back at the 7:26 minute of the second period.
Oh.
What would you like to talk about, John? What do you have?
The question on the screen.
Oh,
DLS Sports, what should be being said? What should being said? That's just weird. Right now for your leadership group to get back into this game.
yeah. I'm telling you, this is a tough one because you had a great. I mean, if it wasn't for the last 20 seconds there, you had a great period. You did everything you wanted to do. Now you're going to have. What you're basically going in there is you're selling We just got to pick up where we left off.
Keep it going.
Forget them last 20 seconds. We just go play the third period the same way we played the second period. We were the better team.
Yeah, what you're saying and what you're feeling, though, are two different things, right? You're feeling heavy. You're trying to think, what more can we do to get in there? Coach is going to come in, keep going, keep pushing. Obviously, next goal is vital. Stars get it, gets going after that. If the Stars don't get it, Edmonton comes out. This thing is church, and the Oilers take another win.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
It's not easy because you sit there the whole period, and when you're not on the ice, you're going, keep going, we're going, it's coming, and it did. And then you end the period like that. So, but again, I think that's the point of having veteran guys, right?
You're trying to generate, too. In the room right now, they're trying to generate energy, right? Because
you're trying to say all the right things.
Yeah, you're trying to say all the right things, trying to get the guy next to you going, trying to get yourself going by talking as well.
You get to that last goal.
Here's two more. Has anybody even noticed Ben so far this game?
Who?
Jamie Benn.
The guy I said was going to step up today?
Yeah. The one who Luds called me an hour before pregame and said, hey,
I did.
Can
Tell
we
him what I wanted.
Can we change Jamie Benn's face blue and put him in the scene from Braveheart where William Wallace leads the troops into battle?
And the answer was that's a kind of
no.
That
I
takes
actually
a long
in
time.
the same sentence. I'm sure you can't do this, but
bing bang.
Super chat from Burned Oils, a Brendan Smith and Year After the Cup Canadian. Peter DeBoer out-coached by a newbie coach again. Is that a fair assessment? Or is that just simply Edmonton out-executing Dallas?
Wait, on the look on your face, do you want to go, what do you mean by out-coached?
Yeah.
That's just a super chat. Just reading it. Do you think that's fair? And a newbie coach, I mean, Knobloch's not a newbie coach. He was a midseason replacement last year or early season.
Hey, Brent, what do you mean by out-coached? Like if it's a matchup thing, putting the wrong players out there at the wrong time, I'm not sure. I
think that the Oilers are executing better than the Stars. Take away the second period where the Stars were much better team in this period. Out-coached, though? Lads, I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to – I don't know where you can say out-coached because I don't think there was any particular moves or not putting the right guys out there at the right time. Like where Sevy was talking about Ren and got above the play right there. That's not really coaching. That's a player kind of getting puck focused because he was.
Because I think the Stars have come in with a good game plan. It seems to be working, minus the score and the inability to score.
Them 2-1 right now.
Right.
Second period, the shots on goal were 21-7, and scoring chances were almost the same. I had 8 high danger chances for Dallas in the second period. Sometimes they don't have. There's quite a few times they don't have 8 by my tracking, 8 in the entire game. So that's a Is that Stuart Skinner?
Oh yeah.
Do you give him a huge pat on the back for his performance so far today?
It's hard not to say at this point, looking at what happened and what you just got done saying, that he's been the better goalie so far through 2 periods. I mean, right? I mean, I think that's.
Sevy, thoughts on that?
Yeah, he's definitely been a factor when you're putting that kind of pressure on a team and you're continually creating good offense and creating the chances. You went through the chances, the scoring chances, high danger areas. You got to look at your goaltender who's making some key saves for sure.
Is it okay, as you guys were talking about messages in the room, is it okay for game 3, it's the conference final, and you have to seize your opportunities, but is it okay to say more of the same? Or is there anything you change?
Yeah, but you got to more of the same, get that next goal. You know, they always say get it in the first 5 minutes is what you want to do ideally. Oh, I just keep watching that play of McDavid being open as they enter the zone. That's what they're just showing on ESPN too as well. He was getting a little anxious to get offensively. He wanted to get the offense going before his defensive
responsibility. You were talking about
on the McDavid goal.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's a killer.
Bing bang.
They didn't give him the puck.
Let's see. Austin has a super chat. A Casey DeSmith and 99 Cup here. Has Robo always disappeared during the playoffs? I actually thought he had some really good looks here in the second period.
He has not. Yes, this is compared to the regular season, what he can do and the space that he has. What's happening with Robo, and everybody knows it, when the space is taken away, DeBoer talked about it the other day, you got to find ways to manufacture your shots. And he doesn't do that. He doesn't handle the heaviness of the playoffs.
Which is always interesting to me because he's not a
shoot,
little
like
guy, and he can be physical at times. He's stronger than he gets credit for.
Yeah.
But I don't think he necessarily uses it when he's trying to create offense.
Yeah, there's a determination factor maybe that's missing.
That's interesting, yeah.
Yeah, that they're trying to get out of him. Because he can shoot, but he just cannot fight. You got to find those open areas. And as you saw, Rantanen is a guy that uses his big body, right? Draisaitl, big body, can shoot the puck, creates his own space.
So
even Ovechkin, he can shoot, but he also knows how to manhandle people around him.
Oh, yeah, especially in his heyday, too. When I'm looking at this and I'm sitting here going, you're out shooting them 30 to 18. I have 31 to 17 in scoring chances. Remember, it doesn't have to be a shot on goal to be a scoring chance, and not every shot on goal is a chance either. The attempts are 59 to 35. They're winning the face-off battle. They're down 3-1. Sometimes.
Why don't you keep track of second opportunities?
Well, because I only have so much.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Second. Oh, no, it's a great stat. Again.
No. I'm just saying, but how many off the top of your head? How many?
Well, if you want to see on scoring chance, like second ones that I do, because I do actually keep track of that off of like a rebound or something. Yeah. I won't mark it if it's a second opportunity within the same shift. But you're talking about like Steele had 2 where he had a point blank chance, got his own rebound and stuff. That was early in the second period. Bischel had that shot with Robo knocking the rebound over the net that led to Rantanen getting the puck back for Bischel. Wyatt had that one where he drove the net, got a shot, got it, and tried to go far side. That doesn't really
Have you seen
answer.
Skinner flailing around a lot on second bids?
Do you think so?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Not as much as we saw in game 1 where
Correct.
he looked
Game
really.
2,
That's a good
He
point.
had a couple times when he was flailing, the one where he reached back on Dell and picked it off the goal line. That was a big one. But other than that, there hasn't been that much.
No.
And Lud's talked about it a little bit. Push him back. I noticed that the Stars are trying to put a guy in front, push Skinner back a little bit, cause a little bit of anxiousness, chaos in front of him.
Because we've seen that if you can get to him, it does happen. He can be rattled.
Yeah, any goaltender, yeah.
But especially if Skinner gets rattled, his numbers plummet.
Isn't that crazy, the difference in his numbers?
Yeah. Hey, he looks really good today. I think he's a huge reason. Obviously, we talked about it, but it's funny how you can, this narrative of 5-on-5 scoring over and over again, but then every playoff game we go back to special teams and goaltending all the time because it's cliched because it's true so many times. If your goaltending is great, if your special teams, if you win that, it's like, honestly, it's like football's turnover battle. Most of the time, if you win the turnover margin, you win. In hockey, if you win special teams and goaltending, you're going to win a lot of games.
And Skinner has really been a little bit better than Otter right now in this game.
Yeah, no, I guess the question for me on that is that because
it's not bad that Otter's not playing
right,
bad. It's just
is it because Dallas has created more scoring chances, so he's had the opportunity to show that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's for sure.
So it's not a negative on Otter, it's just he's looked good because his team is giving up more looks.
That's a great way to put it, right? That's a good way to put it.
Well, and that's always a tough thing because if a guy stands there and doesn't get a shot, remember they said, what was it, from the end of the first into the second, Dallas had something like 21 straight scoring attempts or shot attempts. Not necessarily scoring chances, but shot attempts. And you go, well, that means that he doesn't have a chance to be good because he's just standing there.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then they come down and they get the goal. You know what I mean? So it's when he wants to stop, even though it's McDavid coming off the wall with speed.
And our boy Luds is on his way back. USA just won gold at the World Championships, according to Daniel. So that's good.
No.
Wait, I forgot. You're cheering for the team that lost to Denmark. Luds, did you know that Canada got knocked out of the World Championships by Denmark? That was a shot at Sevy for fun.
Whatever. It's hurtful.
I know.
4 Nations, what?
They were in the prevent the whole game, Denmark.
I got to type this out real quick.
All right, you guys wrap everything up?
We've done a good job. If you want to bring up anything with Seth, go ahead.
No, we're just gonna when John gets it all set up, I'm take a look at that McDavid goal.
I saw you shaking your head over there.
No, but it was kind of. You got it. So, can you make that full screen for Sevy and I, John, if you can, as much as you can? So from here, and Sevy will see this in a second, but what I find here is Connor McDavid somehow finding a lane, and again, just like I don't think you're shooting. You see a hole here on Jake, but go to the next one, John. So what you do see is you see McDavid shooting between the legs of Essa.
Yeah.
And we're going to see a shot. It's so much better when we can actually look at it live. This is coming out the other side. Let's see. Is that the wrong way to say that?
No.
It's coming out between Essa's legs on the other side of him here. But that's what I find impressive. It's the last shot. One more right there. Jake still looks like he picks it up. Like he's still able to see through Essa's legs, and then you can see his head get on it. And obviously at this point, and the reason I bring that up is the speed that any player can shoot the puck, right, and still be able to catch up to it somehow. But at the end of the day, I mean, I know the fast twitch that used to happen years ago, right? Is that still around, fast twitch?
Fast twitch, the workout
lights
facility?
and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, a little bit. It's changed a little bit. We talked about Otter. Remember Owen?
I remember the bag of tools.
Yeah, so this is exactly what he's training for: is to be able to pick that puck through the bodies,
through traffic.
Yeah, through traffic is what he does.
What does he do to what?
He has goggles and he has these balls and stuff that he has to read. I guess
like beer goggles.
Kind of.
You know what I mean? Where it's hard to see things.
Yes. It's like beer goggles. Yes.
That's one way to
different.
do it.
It's all relative.
Beer goggles are 2 or 3 in the morning usually, right?
Are they?
Do you remember what were on the apparatus that we looked at? Do you remember all the things that he had in the toolkit?
He had they were sort of like tennis balls with numbers on them was one of them. But
so it's not a different colored ball that would show up.
He might have those too.
Yeah.
Honestly, he had a wide assortment. He had this little like felt bag, and it was full of different things that he'll use. What do you say, Sevy? Usually pregame to sort of activate his eyes.
Remember he said Hellebuck does it on the bench. He does it away. He doesn't want anybody to see.
He doesn't want to do that out in the public area.
And the guy's name was something
Foster
Tucker.
Brooks?
Foster Brooks. Nope.
Does anybody out there know?
Because I wanted to grill him on it, but I didn't want to spend any more of his time. Josh Tucker, goalie. Josh Tucker is the guy who came up with this.
You having that stat?
Yes. There you go. So if you want to look it up out there, I don't know if anybody's
So
listening.
he's not being able to see the balls clearly.
He can though. No, there's a way that he does it. That yes, he can do it with or without the goggles. The goggles obviously change the field of direction, just like we saw there coming off.
Does it kind of like where you're squinting to find?
No,
things?
not squinting. It's more like a horse has blinders.
Yeah, blinders on. I played my whole career like that with blinders on.
Right.
So that's how it trains him to be able to pick up.
React
like
probably quicker with his eyes.
Because I just find that whole thing super impressive to be able to look through a body, knowing it's coming from a player that has a pretty good idea where it's going, but then still.
Yeah. And on the other end of it, McDavid coming off the wall so quickly that he's able to skate and shoot, right? The skating and the shooting at the same time seems like it's easy. In motion, but is able to whack that puck so fast through. That's a great read by you too, to find it through Essa. That's what he's trying to do. That right there. That little play there. He's just shooting it as fast as he can.
I don't understand it because I would think that there'd be so many goalies that their head would still be stuck right here. But Jake is able to pick it up and pick up the puck at a certain point and turn his head on it.
Well, because I think you can see it coming off the blade.
Underneath.
And then because it goes through, you know what I mean?
He probably knows he's going to use that.
Because you know what it looks like, because he knows where it's coming from. He's played that angle a million times.
Yeah.
But when is it coming off the stick and when does he have to react? And that's where as it went through Lindell, that's the issue.
Kevin with an interesting question for you guys before. Do we shoot too high at the net?
I think a lot of times guys do. That's just me.
Well, if you're missing the net, yes.
With my 20 goals in my entire career, yes.
But is that trying to be too perfect?
I just think they go high too much rather than off the pad and under the glove.
But is that because that's
when I teach my kids, my junior kids, to shoot there? Yeah. It's amazing how it changes. Because how many you're off the net, off the backboards, off the glass, over and over and over. Why don't you just hit the damn net?
So it's you then that I should blame, because
you could yell at me.
My biggest pet peeve is our guys in warm-ups and things like that. All you hear is
off the glass.
This is with no goalie in the net. Yeah. They're not even hitting the net.
Well, why are you yelling at me? Because that's where I want them to teach. No, I teach.
Said you're trying to teach
I don't. I teach them to go low off the top of the pad. Oh my God!
Did that wraparound? Jake is very fortunate that wraparound was not being done by a different player than Corey Perry, because if he'd have wrapped it tight to the post, I got a funny feeling it may have gone in, but looks like he puts it right back into his legs.
David just sailed
right
it?
There. Like if he tries to wrap it, that doesn't go into his legs.
Yeah, he wasn't patient enough to let that stick come around, and his stick was too far away from the post.
And he's probably thinking that I got to get it over there quick.
Right, that's what he was trying.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's funny because of all people, Guy Lafleur, who a lot of people out here probably don't remember, my second year came up to me in practice and he goes, "Luds, you're trying to be too perfect with your shooting the puck." I'm like, dude, I probably had in a year and a half, maybe 15 shots on net. I don't even know what you're talking about. I dump it in. He goes, you shoot to miss the goalie. Don't shoot for that hole that you see. Just miss the goalie. Yeah. And I actually, it makes sense to me because now I start using it with some of our players. Like, Coach, what? I said, you're trying to pick that perfect spot up there, aren't you? I said, why don't you just try to miss the defenseman or miss the goalie? Just miss that, because at least you give it a chance of going in the net.
That's a good
now,
one.
that's coming from a guy that scored 500 and some goals in his career.
Yeah, but still, we've seen enough of it to know.
I don't think I had 500 shots in my career. Oh, I guarantee I did. It does look like all off-handed forwards coming down on that side of the ice, though, are all trying to go far side on Jake.
And I noticed that Jake, it looks to me in my extensive, he's over that way. He's over to the right a little bit more.
He's leaving the short side open?
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Because he's got beaten a couple times on the other side.
Now, I'm guessing that you know, as a goat, Jake, they all know who's coming in and shooting on them. You may not give that much room to a guy like Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl, because if you give them this much on the short side, they can probably hit it.
Yeah.
Now you see some of the players, that don't have the high shooting percentage.
They'd be sitting down with Reese or talking about that, right? Guys are going to the far side. You got to beat a couple. You probably want to play over a little bit in your stance. That's what I think we're seeing.
There's your analytics, right? Telling you where they generally shoot. So for shootouts, when you get to penalty shot shootouts, is there are these guys going over the tendencies of where they...
Jamie said it's all laid out for them.
Prior to a game, though, because they're not getting it. I just wonder sometimes if you lean on that too much and you don't use your natural instincts, thinking that...
Again, things that you and I don't know anything about. You're asking two guys that don't have a clue about that.
So why are we even talking about it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I told Jamie. I said I had 2 face-offs in my life when we were talking face-offs with them. One was for a brawl. Yeah. So I didn't even touch the puck.
No intentions of touching the puck.
No intention of touching the puck at all.
Who did you line up on the face-off, though, against? Is that who you were going with?
Yeah, it was in the minors, and we were loaded. We had 5 tough guys against their 5 tough guys, and it was Binghamton Rangers, or it was just...
That was Torts and... remember when Torts... Was that Philly and the Rangers? Who was that? The Rangers, all 5 guys dropped their gloves. I don't know if it was Tortorella and what's his name that just got fired.
Was that this year you're talking about?
No. This is like 3-4 years ago.
You're talking about Laviolette.
Yeah. Peter, was he in New York that long?
No.
That probably wasn't the coach. Maybe Torts was the guy coaching.
It wasn't David Quinn.
No, I don't remember. I'm not even sure.
Wasn't there one this year where
they
got called out for not reacting, and so the next game they all did that like right away?
Yeah, this was a different one.
Yeah, Stars ain't getting in that forecheck again. And Oilers coming out pretty easy.
You got to believe Dallas. They keep going like this, though, they're going to get another power play. They'll get another crack at it.
They have changed the Stars' goal to Jason Robertson.
So he did get a piece of it.
Apparently, it's been changed, so Bischel gets the assist.
That's why he was mad on the bench. He didn't get credit for it. You see how pissed off he was on the bench? He slammed his stick
I see
down?
Nothing, Luds.
Yeah, you saw it. You just don't like to say it that I do. He's like, I touched that. I'm not going to say it.
I'm not going to say anything.
There's the hit. Ooh.
That's a good hit. Brown's been good through the playoffs.
Yep.
That's what you need, though, right? You need to go on long runs. You need those guys that aren't typically those guys. You just all of a sudden have the Dave Reeds or whatever that stand up and score. I don't want to say Keener because Keener has
that's
a tendency
different
to do that, you know?
Blake
or a
Sloan,
Hoagie
even
or
like
something.
Hoagie, Blake
Yeah.
Sloan even chipped in for you guys, right? Oh boy, who's
No. Oh yeah. Now, do you think that comes from Rizzo trying to stay up and score a goal too soon?
Yeah. Well, you got to press 6. You got 2 goals.
Yeah, but there's still 17, 18 minutes going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you get,
There's that fine line, right? Where where do you go? You need a goal. Let's have a look. See, this is the angle that we need to, they didn't show it all, but
that's probably the last one we're going to see.
that is the last one.
Oh, no, we got one more. See, I think he's leaning this way. See, I think Jake, before that puck goes in, he's got the left shoulder this way, like he's going to go that side, being a right-handed shot, and he goes against the grain. Like, again,
it's the toe drag, right? He's pulling it, so Jake's got to protect that side.
Yeah.
And then he goes far side, which is they can shoot so well. Jesus. Yeah, Stars had 4 multi-goal comebacks in the third period in this playoffs. And this would have to be another one.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that's a lot. Was it 6 comeback wins they have? And that's a lot. That's just too much. It's too taxing on the team, right?
Wait, one of those was the 3 goals on the power play, right? In 5.5 minutes or whatever. That game probably won against Colorado. Did they do the same thing against Winnipeg? Or was it, when we say 4?
Yeah, it says they had the 4th after game 1, because remember that game 1? The 4th multi-goal, third period comeback win of 2025. So they've had 4 comebacks in the third period, down a couple.
Ooh. Jamie?
That was on Jamie.
Oh, he's got a
Jamie's
cut.
bleeding.
Yeah, that's on Jamie. He skated into it.
Oh, he's got to get a stitch
15
or something. There's Nugent Hopkins again.
Yeah.
Is that a very noticeable
He's
afternoon?
kind of sneaky, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like he just is showing up. Yeah. That's where I think Connor McDavid has grown as a player too. Right there, he understands the score. He can probably try to create something at the offensive blue line. He just decides to put the puck in the zone and make your opponent go a couple of 100 feet. Now he gives up the blue line, and we create a chance.
You got to whistle a stoppage of play. We're not doing immediate timeout, but here's the guys. If you want to see this, this is the actual play. This is where Sagan had that look, and look at all the bodies in front. There's the pressure from Petrovic.
Yeah, see that?
And then Bischel here.
That's, for me, it's
And then what a quick up.
too early.
And there he is behind everybody else.
16 and a half minutes to go.
Yeah, it's just dangerous,
Yeah.
It's a dangerous
Too early
push
for
by
me.
both defensemen.
Too early for me.
to be pushing that hard.
Yeah, you're down by 2. You're not down by 3 or 4. Now you never know. There could be a time where there's a couple guys take a run at it.
Oh, you mean like a response?
Well, just maybe a couple. I mean, I'm just saying, you get down 7, 8 minutes in a game. I don't know.
Still a little early for that, but Stars.
No, that's what I
came
mean.
back
You
by
get
3,
down
but
under,
yeah.
5, 6 minutes or something like that, and
we'd all be headhunting for sure. Oh, little help here, little help for him, somebody.
Yeah.
When you think about the maturation process of Miro Heiskanen, when he was younger, I feel like we didn't see that kind of stuff, meaning as much conversation on the ice with opponents. He would just kind of head down, do his own thing. But when you see that, like,
well,
what do you see? Right? No. I know, but even then, I think Miro would have done the sort of just go back to the bench. But to see that kind of stuff, what do you see?
Miro wasn't wearing a letter then either.
Right, but that's to my point.
Well, he's maturing, but
that's
I'm just saying, I think that was all because of Hyman.
Yeah, and I think that's showing frustration from him. When Miro's good,
he lets it go.
He just lets it go.
Yeah.
I think he's frustrated, honestly. Right, lads. There's certain guys that when they start to bark, they're a little bit.
Yeah, you're like, oh, we got him.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like if Nick Lidstrom is starting to squawk at you, right? Something's up, right?
It's too bad this generation never got a chance to see him play.
Yep.
I mean, some people have, I'm sure, and there'd be times when he didn't even seem to do anything out there. But he was
all right. That's immediate timeout here.
Place.
But hey, lads, there's guys. The NHL's littered with players that are just amazing.
It's unreal.
There's so many guys,
and you know where most of them are? They're playing for the Florida Panthers. Geez, to watch that team is just unreal.
Yeah, they've been laying a little smackdown on the Canes, eh?
They just look connected and solid every zone, and
yeah, I think I got to talk some people off the ledge right now because they're having trouble.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of that on Twitter going on.
Is there really?
So to this point, I think when it was 3-1, people or 2-0 even, I'm getting mentions of that's it, series over. It's only game 3 of a 1-1 series, and they're going, we're done. I mean, that's the emotional roller coaster that fans ride, especially ones that are passionate.
You can understand it.
But in the room, we've talked about this all year long and in through this playoff run is how calm and composed the Stars are, that they're not getting excited after a big win. They're not getting too down after a loss. It's 1-1. It's not 3-0, right? I mean, Carolina right now has to be feeling some...
Yeah, they're getting kicked.
Yes.
Right?
But that's a different...
Stars are getting beat here. Yes. Again, this game 3 was important, but still some things to grab. From it.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to.
You have to. Right.
But now their backs against the wall, right? This is what all your
planning, and you know what
all
the
work you've done all year.
Is you end up, coach. I don't know what they'll do, but you pull out the second period. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what you're showing.
This is where we want to go.
You show that.
Where we want to go.
How you did it, how you stayed with it, where we can get more. If
McDavid's on the boards, you may want to be between him and the net. You don't want to be going up ice.
I will want to go back to that power play in the, what was that, third period?
Stars power play?
No, McDavid's, when he was all pissed off at the start.
That's
never got the puck, and he was waving his arm. His next shift, he comes out.
That would have been midway through the second period.
Yeah, and then next shift he came out and took the puck, went end to end, and he scores a goal. It's just Their middle opens up because Rantanen goes over to the right, over the left side defenseman.
Look at this. Oilers come back, and it's just a swarm. And
it's
then
a
this
wave.
This is exactly what we've seen throughout the entire. Swarm that puck, move it across D to D, get it up.
Oh boy.
That's the frustrating part for Dallas.
What was it?
Here we go. Come on, Moose.
Okay. Where's the late guy? Nothing. Look at that.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do, right, is have to pull up, because now all of a sudden everybody else gets back into the play. Where's that little step?
Oh, well, force that.
He was tired. I think he was tired there.
Who?
Yeah, and his feet were
Rantanen.
completely.
Well, he was tired on the entry.
Yeah, that's what
No,
I mean.
you could tell.
Yeah.
The Moose wasn't hoofing it.
Moose was not loose on that one.
no Moose charge there.
Moose knuckle, but not Moose.
Moose what?
What? Sorry.
I didn't hear what you
see,
said,
I
Brent
just-
Severyn.
I
What did you
said-
say? Make sure they didn't mistake
I was just seeing if
me.
you were paying attention, which you're looking at your books. I thought I'd throw it out.
That's for all your faithful listeners on Victory Plus that are listening.
That's right. Well. Oh my gosh.
Where are we at? 11 minutes to go. 11 and a half.
What you looking for over there?
Oh, Jesus. You see how I take notes? Sometimes I write from the back of the book first.
Or is this for your coach?
No, this
Coaching?
is just no.
For here?
And sometimes I start from the back. Sometimes I write from the front. Sometimes I have them upside down. They'll go through here and you're like, wait, that's upside down right there. I was trying to go back to what we talked about in the pregame show. Oh, yeah, right here. So when leading at the end of the second period, Edmonton is basically at 800, Sebby, winning hockey games. Dallas.
When leading after 6, when leading after.
Yeah, leading after 2. Dallas, when trailing, is at 444. This is through the playoffs. So just under 500% and about 800%.
You're looking after 2?
Yep.
Yeah, leading after 2, they're 3-1. Trailing after 2, they're 4-5.
Yep. Not good.
The Stars, yep. Leading after 2, Edmonton is 4-1. That's just the way it is for all clubs, basically.
How about leading after 2 when you have a 3-goal lead? A little more
A
difficult?
little more difficult.
I like Ray Ferraro doing games.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Him and Eddie. Eddie kind of always finds, Olchuk always finds ways to get little things in. They have a good...
Boucher's good, too. I like Boucher.
Yeah. Yep.
Just calm and calls it. I don't like guys that overcall the game or try to make it about them. You know what I mean? That's just... I like them to blend in with the program.
Just the facts, ma'am. Just the facts.
The facts and some genuine enthusiasm for the hockey game.
Yep.
I think that's important. Because I think as a viewer, you really feed off whether the announcers are into the game or not. If they're,
I think that has a lot to do with the play-by-play guy, though, too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, right. That's.
And to me, that's always been my style, is to not overdo it, but I'm into what's happening, right? Not overdo it with all sorts of other stuff. Because if we start talking about something else, we're saying to you the game itself isn't going.
Then we'd be doing a watch-along.
That's right.
Right. Thank you. Thank you for getting there.
Media timeout. We're halfway through the third period. Oilers winning 4-1. We played a clip in the pregame that Connor McDavid was talking about after game 2, talking about how they feel they were playing, because the question was something about you've played 5 really good periods, right, out of 6. And he just said, there's something we've all said before, and I like this, was, you know, if we won game 1 and lose game 2, then maybe we feel a little wonky going back to Edmonton, because we lose game 1, but we win game 2, we feel pretty good about ourselves. So the same thing could be said here, is if Dallas doesn't come back in this game, but they find a way to win game 4, they're going to feel fairly good going to game 5. It's just funny how that always shifts that feeling, even though we say momentum doesn't carry over from game to game.
But in playoffs, it's weird. Again, watching these guys, it doesn't. It's just
these
guys that win Stanley Cups, every game is its own individual fight, and it doesn't effing matter what happened before, after, last year. They don't care. You're just going to win your shift. You're going to win your battle, and that's what's amazing. Because, lads, I took everything that you guys did in '99, and I used your philosophies over in Germany. I was the Mike Keane over there, and I showed them how to do it.
Yeah.
And everything you guys did, it worked, and we won because of it. It's amazing. There is a template to it, and you have to have those guys, those leaders that guide the team.
But it helps having a guy like you come over there with credibility, right?
Well, you have to.
Done that kind of thing, and
you have to.
And then once you do it a little bit, you're like, oh, I guess the guy's got a point.
Yes.
You know, and you kind of build on it like
it's like
that.
You guys had Hitch. Hitch would have come up with this stuff, but it was you guys that ran it. You guys ran the room, and you guys ran the stuff. He did his BS and all that stuff, but you guys ran the ship. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I was telling, I think you were here, but when Holly came, right? Like, Bo had called me up, and in the summer, and just said, hey, didn't tell me who, but as a matter of fact, I don't even know if I asked, but he was like, hey, got a player, because Mr. Hicks, Tom had said he called him and wanted to know, what do we need? This was when there wasn't the salary cap stuff, right? What do we need to get past Detroit? Because it was always, that was the roadblock, right? And fortunately, I guess that year we didn't have to go through Detroit. Colorado did it for us. But, and so when I got the call, and I basically said, when he brought about a player or somebody coming into the locker room, whatever, it was just no problem. Like, guys, we got the room. Well, I don't care who you bring in. Nobody's going to end up being bigger than the group, which is what Hitch always tried to sell. That group, got to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and the more people you got in, bought in, which are the guys that we all had there. We were part of it.
Well, I played on a team where we had some superstars that were superstars in the league. They scored a lot of points, but that's it. They scored points, and man,
was it more about them?
It was all about them.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And I think that's where good general managers are like, well, we're not going to win like this, But they probably know that before they even pick them up or bring them in or draft them maybe. Because those aren't things, I'm assuming, that are in there. Those characteristics are in them when they're being drafted. Like, they were those kind of players, right?
Right. It's like you keep bringing up Buffalo, and I'm sure that's a lot going on in Buffalo.
Right.
All these guys that are great players are good players. Yeah. But that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Like, people were taught.
I'll be right back. I got to get a new pen.
Rookies were not allowed to talk to, or didn't want to talk to these superstars because they were so high above everybody.
Yeah. And that's not a team.
That's not a team. And Lodge, your team that won here, 99, and then the team I played in 96 with Colorado, similar.
Yeah.
It was sick. I went from there to you guys, and I was like, this is the same thing. I was like, you guys have a chance to win when I walked in that room.
Different name tags.
Different name tags, yep.
What's your thoughts on the new coach in Vancouver? Footy.
Who's in Vancouver?
Foot.
Oh, Footer. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. And it's weird how we know these guys at a different level than coaches.
Yeah,
so I think of all the shenanigans that I've seen, you know what I mean? And I don't know. It's tough to be a head coach, right? Yeah. It is a different animal, and it's not necessarily always about your knowledge. It's how you work with the guys. And if you think about that Footer, very intense guy. So I don't know how, and because I don't know him as a coach. How it translates.
Yeah.
Because you almost have to be perfect. That's where DeBoer is good with that kind of stuff, right? He knows how to play his guys or bring the best out of each guy, hopefully.
Yeah, and I think he's a little bit more laid back of a coach. It seems like from the outside.
Footer?
He's not yet. No.
Oh.
He, like not really in your face kind of things individually, or I don't know about in between periods.
And I think he knows how to deal with personalities very well.
Well,
Almost
because
like a
we could tell
psychology.
in all the things that we ran today,
Yep.
there's frustration there.
Yep.
Which, you understand it because your team's not playing at the level, if you only won one period out of the last 6 or whatever you want to look at it, is, we got to be better than that.
And you have to have a way to send your message forcefully, properly, and succinct. Oh, my
there's
gosh.
5.
Watch this bouncing puck. Now you can kind of tell where the game ends up going a certain team's way. I mean, yeah, there's drives to the net, which Hyman does anyways, but it looks like it actually bounces over a stick here to get to him.
Fortuitous is the word everybody uses, right? Oh,
Indeed, extremely fortunate / lucky.
Oh yeah, you got it.
I don't know if that's lucky, but that's hand-eye coordination. It's not a good saucer
It's not
pass.
a great sauce. That looks like my pass.
Yeah, no, that's a skilled play for sure.
Boy, that's fantastic redirection there, isn't it?
Yep.
But on the other side of the coin, you get 2 defensemen chasing back. But
Again,
that's because they're
4-1.
pressing up.
Yeah, it's 4-1. You got to go. This is what happens, right? So now it's 5-1, Luds.
Yeah, I know.
Here's
now
this is where back in the day,
Yeah.
Mr. Severyn would get in some ice time finally.
This might be where somebody else is playing D in front of it in the corner or something like that. And
So back to our point earlier about the Stars being shut out 4 times, a couple others where the score's lopsided. It doesn't look good. It doesn't feel great, but it still only counts as 1 win. So it really doesn't matter if you lose by 1 or by 7. Do you agree with that, or do you think style points matter in the playoffs?
there's more pressure on you now. You can talk about all this other stuff, but going into the next game, there's pressure because
Well, now they don't want to go down 3 games to 1.
Yeah.
So winning
so
game
there's
4.
not like there's no pressure.
Oh, no.
And it's not easy to regroup and go, you know what? Here's what happened. We did all this, and we had this, and we thought we had that, and we still found a way to lose a game. But it doesn't mean that you don't change a lot of the good
Look
things
at your
that you've
stats
done.
you were talking about in the pregame and then trying to convey those to Sev is Dallas really benefits from getting out in front in a score.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, I know it's easy to say, hey, all right, guys, we got to go score first.
Right.
They got to go score first. Because when they have the lead, they seem to really, I mean, Edmonton's been sitting back and hitting them on the counter since the second period with the lead.
I still think it reloads, Luds. I still think you're just going to reload and try to play your best game you can
you
next
do.
game. Yeah, you just
And I
reload.
think, like we talked about, there a lot of this you have to replicate because you've had a good period and a half of the game, over half a game. You've been a good team.
Yep.
You've proven that you can play in their end. You can get quality chances. Are there things you can do a little bit better probably to get a puck past the goaltender? Yeah.
And Edmonton's going to talk about how well they've played all these last 2 games, right? How great it's been for them. Owned them 5-on-5. Great goaltending. That's what you're going to pump out to the media. But the next game, you got to do it all over again.
Mm-hmm.
False start.
These are the ones, though, like when you're on the wrong side of a game like this and there's 6 minutes to go and there's these little stoppages. You're like, come on.
Let's go.
Let's just get it over with.
Kind of like us now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like everybody watching. Who's
Yeah,
ever
maybe it's
left
not
watching.
them. Maybe it's just us.
No, it's right. It's them. Still like to see a little bite somewhere, right? Little something.
I think that's all you're kind of looking for.
Yeah,
That's all
just
I'm
go
kind of
take a piece out of somebody.
Just
I don't know. It feels
show
good.
them that you're not happy that you're
Yeah.
losing like this.
Yeah.
God, they're all just piled in. Good pass.
Good stick.
Even a better stick. Probably needs that separation speed there.
Let you go back and watch any of these? Do you go back and rewatch? Yeah.
Painfully sometimes.
Yeah. But it's fun though, because stuff that you miss, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's
great.
a ton.
Yeah.
When you're not able to. It sometimes, Sevy, it may take me an hour to watch a period.
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Like I'm not going in there to. Coach
I know,
that.
but it's fun, right?
Like, why did that happen?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
We have a media timeout here in Game 3.
How's Sleeper working out, John? Oh, come on. Anybody heard from Sam lately?
I don't think we have. So, to the example, Sevy, earlier about angry fans, one fan on Twitter just now said, blow it up, Jim Nill.
Oh, my God.
I know.
Let's, relax.
Sometimes I don't think those people. I think they just want to get their thing read.
But it's also from fans' perspective, right? It's the frustration because it's harder watching than it is being involved in it. Because it's tough. And I can imagine it's tough for Jim Nill. I don't think you can blow it up, man. I'm telling you, he's done.
Other ones.
That's so crazy.
Dallas equals Carolina.
No,
they got one more win so far.
No, but Carolina's getting absolute. Well, this is a kicking. I'll give them that, but not the kicking that we're seeing in the other side.
How about this one? This team drives me crazy. Can't score, can't get a big save, can't check. All talk about no action, just get ran over.
Is this Twitter where everybody's just negative, right? I don't read Twitter, but is it just fire?
Not always negative, but there.
Give me one. There's no positive really you can say, but
I've seen people saying that Jamie Benn should not get a right there, Chris, in our chat. Ben should have been done after last year. There's another one. That Ben Duchesne, Robo, Passengers, get him out of here. Again, overreactive, passionate fans. So they showed the stats of goals off the rush today. And again, I don't know why they don't bring it up more often, is that it's a bit like credit to their transition game, but it's circumstantial because they got the lead. They've absorbed pressure and then catch them because Dallas is pressing, trying to and taking advantage of that, thus rush chances. How come nobody ever gives that context in this kind of situation?
They don't care. They just keep stats. That's what they're about.
But isn't context important?
They don't care. It's
like
a stat.
How are they
going to put that in the stats, though?
And this is what Misha told me, right? So you see the stat that says rush chances. Then you got to go back and see, well, why are they creating these rush chances?
Right.
There's a reason to it. But you see
their job is to tell you.
The analytics will tell you that that's it. And you know that the Stars are good rushers.
Your job to go back and see how they were created.
Yeah. To me, it's always important when you look at numbers of any kind to step back and go, what does it mean?
Yeah.
Right? What's the context? Not just go, oh, well, your 7 is better than their 2.
Right.
Great. What does that mean?
Exactly.
And that's, I think, as whether it's us, broadcasters, media members, it's important to start to not just throw those numbers out there, but to then say, this is this, and this is why it's important.
But
one of the main reasons why it happened because you didn't get the lead.
Yes.
And you're chasing the game.
And that's
so
my whole
it's
point.
still on you.
Well, it's like hits.
Still
sometimes you see hits and there's a team just out hitting the other team. Like, oh my God, that's what someone said to me. I said, well, that's because the Stars had the puck all the time. That's why they're getting it. You know, but that breakdown takes time as well, lads. And with you guys know, with so many different things and so much things that we have to look at as far as broadcasters, we're not coaches because we have 700 players you have to watch.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or games and know what's going on. Whereas a coach, all they're doing is that team.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to break down that team.
There's a guy that's happy that he doesn't have to get in.
What's he 6-0 though in playoffs? Is that Pickard you're talking about?
No, that's Rodriguez.
Oh, is that Rodriguez?
Kid.
Pickard's not. Oh, I thought that was Pickard. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, who was that guy that shot that puck?
Yeah.
I'm wondering why they're showing him because they don't really have to talk about him. Like if you were losing 5-1, you say, "Man, he's not even ready yet. He might not play anymore."
I think they're running out of stuff to say.
Yeah, that could be.
You can either bash on the Stars or talk about the goaltender that's just getting ready to come back in.
Bing bang.
Super chat. Matthew with a Oscar Beck and Year After the Cup. Hang on, Matthew. We got a power play going on here. We have
Owen.
in defense of the blow it up comment, this team currently isn't good enough. How do they improve it next year? With what money? This franchise is in a bad place for next year cap-wise. First of all, Matthew, they're still in the conference final. It's probably going to be 2 games to 1.
Yep.
Jamie did something.
Unsportsmanlike conduct here.
Somebody's barking. Looked like Hyman was barking. Oh, well, that's not a lot. That's not a lot. Oh, my God. Giving guys penalties for this?
That was the penalty? That little bump?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
5-1. That's a 5-1er, right? I don't know.
Oh, they gave it to Harley.
Yeah, they're giving him penalties off.
It came out in a little bump.
They're basically saying we're not letting this get out of hand. Although if you don't want to do that, you might as well just throw them out of the game. Give them 5s or 10s. I guess 10s.
Yeah.
So down 5-1 with 3.5 to go. Is this going to amp up a little bit?
You would hope so.
I know that's not typically Dallas's game.
You got Robo on the ice. I don't think that's going to ramp anything up. Who's out there? Tyler Sagan? I don't think this kind of stuff is ramping up. Petro and Bishop maybe, but that's more to give the other guys a little bit of rest right now. No sense in playing Miro and Essa. Whoops. Oh, that little between the leg
move there, eh?
Oh, gosh.
See, that's this little twist and turn
I had
here.
to trip myself with that.
Here comes Podkolzin now for a power play out of the box.
He can score from there. He doesn't even look like he's shooting it hard.
Oh, boy.
He can zing it around. Backhand or somewhere.
Oh, geez.
I've never seen anybody pass puck like he does on his backhand.
Klingberg. Tip in front.
Oh, that's got to hurt, eh?
I believe they're calling this one Klingberg. We'll see. Yep, Klingberg from Draisaitl and Kane.
See, they don't back it up there.
I don't think Jake sees it again. Oh, that looks like it hit his glove, didn't it?
Yeah.
That tip off his glove. Right there.
Oh,
shoulder.
Hey.
Yeah.
We can't see it anyway. Body in front. Ugh. Well, if you're still watching out there, hats off to you. You're a Stars fan if you still got this thing on.
And watching us.
Hey?
Let alone the game.
Oh, yeah, that too. Excuse me. Well, I'll be thinking about you guys. I'll be heading to the pool party for a little bit of wine and a cigar. I'll be thinking about you, how you parse this one out.
Don't worry, Sevy. I'm having my own pool party right here. Are you really going to a pool party?
Just neighbors, yeah.
Yeah, but it's still a pool party.
It's a pool party.
That's yes.
I'm going to have a wine, yeah, a little cigar. Maybe some vodka.
Oh, did you say vodka?
Mm-hmm.
I saw yesterday. Took a bottle of Tito's.
Yep.
Take a package of grape Kool-Aid.
Okay.
pour it in the bottle, right? And then pour it over a glass of ice with some. I saved the video. Lime? Might be pour some lime in it or something like that. Or no, lemonade. Yeah, it was lemonade. It's like, you got to try it.
Yeah.
Let me know how it is.
We have a drink called the Enforcer. I'll have to bring in for you guys.
What's it called?
An Enforcer.
What?
Let's bring it. It's vodka.
Is
I'll
it
bring it.
triple sec or
No, it's pretty fluffy, but I'll have to bring it in.
Everclear?
Yeah, it's not. No. You won't like it, but I'll have to bring it in for you guys.
Yeah, I'm not a. There we
Yeah,
go.
and it's not even close to what. It's more Owen.
You think?
I don't know. I don't know what you drink over there.
Yeah,
if
so
at
you
all.
made a presumption.
I did. It's fluffy. That's why I threw you in.
I knew exactly what you're going for.
Well, finally getting some shenanigans.
Blackwell pushing back. Blackwell ran from the back. All right.
So there was a bunch of discussion about Bischel and Perry at the end of game 1. And the next day between games, Perry was one of the guys on the podium. And he was asked about it. He just said, there's nothing there. He goes, the game's over. He goes, sometimes you get pissed off after a game that you're losing. And those things happen. He said, there's no carryover for that incident, he said. But
he's posturing? Is that what you're saying?
who?
Perry?
No. I'm saying, so stuff like this goes on. And
He's lying, Owen, right?
You think so?
Oh,
so you think there is carryover of that?
well, yeah, he's sending a message. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's carryover. That's why you'd like to see Bischel learn how to fight a little bit. You know what I mean?
So he could do that.
Yeah, because there is hitting and then there is Hatch or mean.
Yeah.
Because Hatch could do both. He could hit you and fight you, and that's a deadly combination.
And he does
But if
the,
he just
the
hits
one
you,
side
that's-
of it.
Yeah.
See you later.
He plays.
Thanks for the happy tizers.
He plays on an edge during the game.
What's that?
Between the whistles.
Yeah.
But then when the whistle blows, he tends not to do that. Bischel.
Plus, you like be able to back it up a little bit. And he's so strong. Like, when I watch him, he is so strong on his
Do you
skates.
think Bischel has fought before?
No, he has no idea.
Don't you think that should be part of a summer thing?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
because of, there's a lot of talk with what happened with Perry and stuff like that. And it's not a good look, right? I mean, especially from.
Well, and to protect himself. He's
Right.
going to get in a scenario
Right.
where, like, if he grabs Wilson or something, or Wilson grabs him one day, like,
Yeah.
he could lose pieces
But
of his face.
if you're going to play that way, then
You're
you
gonna-
know what I mean?
and
Like,
you're gonna
that's
have to
be
step
part of your
up.
calling card,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
I tell all the kids, I teach them just to be safe.
and we try to tell the guys too that are going to go to North American League, like, have it in your toolbox.
Why
You know what I
not?
mean? And at least go in and know how to protect yourself.
Well, that blows, fellas.
So
That's one way to put it.
Can
That
we
just
clip
blows.
that?
one last thing for you guys, and then we'll wrap it up. They go into the third period. They're down 3-1. They played a great period, but that McDavid goal kind of took the stuffing out of them.
Yeah.
They were outchanced 10-4 by Edmonton in the third when they needed to get back in the game. And obviously, they had the 2 Hyman goals that kind of deflated it further. But after such a great second period, a little disappointed there wasn't more of that, or is that just the nature of the game?
I would have been surprised had they come out much better because Lud's talked about it, right? It's when you're in the dressing room, you're trying to say all the right things. Emotionally, you're just like, come on. You just got punched in the face, right?
Yep.
Say that's accurate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you look at the third period. I mean, again, getting out chance because they're leaning forward. They're trying to fight their way back into the game. You can't just go into a shell. You're down by a couple goals, but then when it starts getting out of reach, then it is what it is.
All right, we have a post-game show coming up, but first,
Good luck, guys.
Sev,
Good luck.
enjoy your
You're welcome to
your
stay,
evening.
Sevy, if you'd like. You could put the pool party on the back burner if you'd prefer.
I'll weigh this out between.
I could go to the pool party and fill in for you.
Yeah,
for a
that's
little bit.
right. It might be fun.
We'll see you on Tuesday for Game 4
will be here,
coming
yeah.
in.
Thanks, guys.
So Sevy will be here for a watch along on Tuesday night for Game 4 of Stars Oilers. Don't forget, he may be
response.
from Alberta,
Okay, guys, I'll see you.
but he is definitely wearing Victory Green stuff over there, or
Yeah.
Victory Plus.
Right
So
there.
big thank you to everybody for tuning in for the watch along. We will be here for the full post-game show on both YouTube and Victory Plus in just a few minutes right here on DLS.
Good luck, fellas. Good luck.
We all silly like the mayor.